Hello, Mugs.
I
So, it's the first tier maker video. Yeah.
follow up.
What? You said hi.
I and you would say am.
Oh, I thought you said
Um,
hi.
no, I said I.
God,
Like
have we ever managed to start a video in this series normally? Anyway, yeah. Hi, I'm Jane, and that's
and
Josh.
I'm that.
Yeah.
We're
If
rating everything that we completed together, but not necessarily like together in like call. Just
that
like
we both watched all of, and
yeah,
that came out in, or that we watched in 2025, not came out in 2025, as you'll see.
yeah.
Also,
Necessarily, if I completed something, but Jane didn't even watch it, not on the
not
fucking
here.
list, and
Also,
vice.
vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, the last 5 images in this tier maker thing are not supposed to be here, and I just can't get rid of them. So ignore those. Um,
yeah.
I mean, I'll go through my opinions of this real quick because this is all stuff that I've finished, but you didn't.
Sorry for
And
coughing on the mic.
except for this duplicate of this one, we can fully ignore that. Watanare, I think, is really good. Call of the Night season 2, I think, is like probably the best sequel season that anything has had in a good fucking long time. Dandadan season 2 is good because it's just more Dandadan. So if you liked the first one, you will like the second one. Blood Sea fucking sucks, and the only reason it's on this is because I was trying to get this key visual, which is a different thing. This is Blood the Last Vampire. And yeah, these are all in pretty much just a completely fucking random order. So this is going to be a very janky video, even more so than is usual for this series. So,
Yeah,
you
I mean, we
know,
haven't even renamed the tiers yet.
we haven't, no.
Soft,
Um,
seasoning, mid, needs more development, Hyoka. And then we'll probably
Hyoka?
add, like, double.
What is with this? Okay, it's time for you to
Okay,
explain a mug joke live on camera to me. Why does everybody on Mugcord have beef with Hyoka? I don't get it.
okay, the thing is, like, Hyoka just became the tier name for bottom tier, even though, like, the only mug that ever hated Hyoka was Cookie. He rewatched it and loves it now. And then Tegan and I both gave it like a 5 or a 6 or something. Like, we liked it. But
All right,
Hyoka is just the bottom tier name.
fair enough. It's
And,
I
like,
understand.
yeah.
We'll
Oh, we'll definitely add more. Like, this
we'll
will not
figure
be
it
enough.
out. Yeah. Um, Blood the Last Vampire, which is a movie or a movie? I forget.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie
Um,
from 2000. Is that correct?
yes.
Yeah, 2000. That we watched around Halloween. Watched it together
Yeah.
because it seemed
It's
seasonally
scary.
appropriate, and it
Yeah.
was. So, what are your thoughts on Blood the Last Vampire, Josh? You lead here.
I thought Blood the Last Vampire kind of ruled.
Yeah.
Notably, it came out the same day I did, 18th November, 2000, my birthday.
Yeah, okay.
The first one of those, well, the 0th. Um, no, okay, Blood the Last Vampire actually is just like a good fucking horror thriller thing with a
Yeah,
unique setting, um,
it's
and crazy
interesting
good visuals as well.
because as the accidental presence of Blood Sea on this, the image tray down at the bottom reveals. I've seen at least a little bit of several different things in the Blood. I guess you'd say like meta series because they're not like directly narratively connected. I don't think they're just kind of use some of the same concepts or whatever. And Blood the Last Vampire is like far and fucking away the best of them. Just like a really interesting horror action thing about this girl. His name I believe is Saya because I think they're all named Saya. Like all the Blood stuff has a protagonist girl named Saya. I believe it's a thing.
Yeah.
Um, who is like a swordsman who is also a teenage girl because anime film. And she like infiltrates a school on a U.S. military base, because she's like hunting vampires, and it's not like a particularly complex movie. I would say it's just like it got a lot of really interesting and good action set pieces. Visually, like kind of ahead of its time. A lot of it was, in fact, it isn't it this
I
movie
was
was all
full
digital
digital.
in
Yeah,
2000, which
in
was
2000.
pretty forward thinking, I would say.
And it looks
Um,
better than kind of a lot of the stuff of its era. It's a really,
yeah,
really, like, pretty
yeah, I
movie.
would say I do have a couple quibbles with it. Uh, but like overall, I'd say it's a very strong movie. I would say
Yeah.
this goes like second to top tier, like up
Yeah,
here.
no, this is a firm A.
Yeah, and
Um,
we'll come up with a funny name for that. Don't worry.
yeah. Garzy's wing.
Tales from Bryston Well, Garzy's Wing. I
How do
don't
you
even
rate
know where to
Garzy's
start.
wing?
um,
I think the best answer is a tier above S that is just called Garzy's wing.
I don't know about that. Let me think for a
I
second,
don't either.
okay? Um,
Hey,
if
I just
someone is
noticed the
some,
adolescence of Utena is also in here twice for some reason.
huh? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a
That's
duplicate.
problem,
Don't
you
worry
know.
about it. Look, I already
Yeah.
said the thing's gonna be janky. Okay, just
Yeah.
just everybody chill out.
Anyway,
Um,
yeah, we watched Garzy's wing for the first time this year,
so,
dubbed.
like I
That's
don't
just
even
the
know if someone is not aware of what Garzy's Wing is. I don't even know how to begin explaining it. Uh, it's an isekai, like an old school isekai, um, fantasy series. Uh, it was like a couple episode OVA based on a novel written by Tomino, like Gundam Tomino, that guy.
yeah.
And it's absolutely horrible, but in like a really funny way. And the dub
It's
really, like, the dub is what makes it bad in a funny way. I think if it was just like a serious, straight laced performance, it would be kind of interminable because the plot is really hard to follow and it doesn't look very good and it's just like very choppy and kind of all over the place and lots of other issues.
yeah.
The
But
dub
that dub.
elevates it to, I mean,
Yeah.
you must use the power of earth and water. I don't know, man.
I think the
It's
answer is just A, to be fair.
like
Um
it's like an ironic A. Like I don't know. I feel like that warrants its own tier. I think maybe we put it like
above B,
yeah,
yeah. Garzy's wing.
yeah,
Yeah. Which will put Garzy's wing and some other show in at some point, without
maybe
doubt.
it might just be that one. That's okay. The
Yeah.
Epic of
Epic of
Zekbok.
Sackback.
This is another thing where I have no idea. Actually, I kind of front loaded some of the OVAs without really meaning to, and now it's like, well, I've got all this stuff that's kind of hard to explain right in a row. Um,
That's okay.
Epic of Zekbok is a short OVA that is like one part of a mixed media project that is mostly like music stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and the music stuff, we actually looked up some of it after watching the OVA, and that was pretty
It rules.
interesting. Yeah. But the OVA itself is hot
I think
trash.
its token needs more development, right?
I don't know. Like,
Because, like, girl power will be in Hyoka, you know? Um,
that's true. Um, here's the
I mean,
thing. Okay, like,
that needs more development. The development in question is the rest of the Sackbox franchise.
yeah. Like, the thing is this: the actual OVA is this plotting like thing about like a warrior queen in a like vaguely Middle Eastern inspired setting. Um,
Yeah.
who like goes into a battle trance and starts killing people for some reason. It's all very vague, and the OVA is pretty short, so none of this is ever really given any further context. I actually think yeah needs more development, but like literally.
Yeah.
um, Angel
Angel Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
But
Oh God.
I really think we struck gold with a lot of these OVAs, to be fair, because Angel Sanctuary also kind of ruled.
Yeah, I've explained the last two things that are hard to explain. You take Angel Sanctuary.
Angel Sanctuary is a thing where a bunch of like biblical angels have reincarnated into like modern day people,
Yeah.
and that has like given some of them powers and shit. But a lot of them don't know that they're reincarnated from the angels, but then a lot of them do. So there's this really like gay Takehito Koyasu guy that's like fucking Lucifer or something, and he's like hardcore into main character and like always protecting him. And it's like, okay, this is enough to be like a series unto itself.
Yeah.
But also, it is extremely comically, hilariously pro incest.
Yeah.
That is the core of the
That is
narrative.
the main theme of Angel Sanctuary. It is
Yeah.
like I wish that I had time travel, not to do anything heroic with it. Josh is
To
going to
watch
be
Angel Sanctuary
incomprehensible
for
to
the
you.
first
I'm
time.
mostly saying this so that when Shredney inevitably watches this video, she busts the fuck up. I wish I had time travel so I could take Angel Sanctuary and a video player back to like the ancient Gnostic sects in the Middle East. Because those motherfuckers loved like, weird shit with angels and they loved incest. They would
Oh,
go
that would rule.
fucking crazy for this shit. You know. And then
It
we'd
would
get
rule.
YouTube videos by like Dr. Justin Sledge about the meaning of Angel Sanctuary reviews in the Nagamati library. Anyway,
The best part about Angel Sanctuary is definitely when Takehito Yasugai tells main character, "Look, I think you're a fucking weird creep for wanting to fuck your sister.
it's so
But if you want
funny.
to fuck your sister, then you need to live your truth, man." And all these fucking flyers.
It's so
The main guy
funny.
fucks his sister, it starts like falling out of the sky. The thing is, like, we're describing like the absurdity and shit like that. It's kind of actually Kino.
No, it
Same
is
kind of.
just good. That's the fucked up thing. Like, it's
Yeah,
also just like a pretty, like, tightly paced, like, urban fantasy thing.
yeah,
There is like the obvious downside that the OVA is really only the first part of it. There was a manga that this is based on, and it only adapts like the first volume or something, I think.
yeah,
Um, but it's like actually shockingly good for what it is, like A tier good, I think.
yeah. I'm also for A tier.
Yeah, like one of the most original things I watched last year, which is also true of this next thing.
Pit Princess. More like Kino
I'm actually
Princess.
gonna move in the movie to a bit further down, just so we're not doing like literally all of the old stuff in a row. Mix it up a little.
That's fair.
Also, Utana is another thing that we're going to heap effusive praise on, and
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
we can't keep
I
doing
mean,
that.
honestly, kind of all of this stuff is for a good while, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, Puppet Princess.
Puppet Princess.
It's a
Uh,
cool action thing where the gimmick is that they like the main character, who is the titular puppet princess,
yeah.
fights.
She kicks ass, by the way.
Yeah, fights by controlling a bunch of giant mannequins, and it is the sickest fucking thing of all time.
Yeah.
like it,
There's really not much more to say.
yeah, no,
It's
like it.
kind of neat.
There's a plot about her um taking vengeance for the death of her father because like a evil warlord like
There's also just like a
killed him or
samurai
something.
guy.
There's also a samurai guy. I almost like him, but he pervs on the main character at one point, and it's kind of like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like actually really just
I
quite
think it's
good.
another A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like honestly.
That's what I mean. We've struck gold with a lot of these.
Turkey,
Um,
time to strike. This is one where we will have diverging opinions, I feel.
like I I almost don't remember how I felt about Turkey like in specific detail at this point because
Really? Okay.
well it was kind of a show that came and went. I don't remember my problems in like I am going to justify them with like sourced arguments right now.
Fair enough.
Um,
Here's my thing, okay? In I know this is in of itself a cliche argument, but in a
yeah,
world where it feels like a lot of anime, not all of them, obviously not all of them, but it feels like a lot of things that come out every season are kind of cut from one of a couple cloths specifically. Turkey is a sports drama about bowling that is also a time travel adventure series. And I just feel like that alone is points. And I think the fact that it's also pretty good is more points. I it's definitely not the most like consistent show. There's like some really good episodes and a couple that are they're all right. Um but like the really good episodes like actually are like that good. Like there's one where because the bulk of the show takes place during like medieval
got
Japan
past.
essentially. Yeah, medieval Japan essentially. Um and the one girl whose name I'm suddenly blanking on um
Green,
Rin? Is it Rin?
green, the color green.
Oh. Yeah, no.
It's like Sayori.
It might be Sayori.
Sayori.
I'm gonna just look this up. Hold on, this is gonna bother me.
Cheating.
Yeah, I know.
Enemy
It is.
time on the
It's
tier list.
Sayuri. Sayuri. Um, where
I'm joking.
Sayuri, who was like uh, kind of the innocent and easygoing one of the core cast, learns that her friend that she's made in medieval Japan has to kill people to defend her home from like bandits and stuff.
Yeah.
And she has like a full on like fucking existential breakdown about this, and it's kind of extremely compelling television. More so when toward the end of the episode she has to help like warrior girl kill one of the bandits, and she does it by throwing a rock at his head like a bowling ball, and it's incredibly dumb and camp, but also like kind of high art. And I don't think the show ever gets that good again, but it comes surprisingly close a couple times. In the last episode, the main character says to this like corrupt priest character, I don't care about your damn gods, I care about bowling. And like it's not that often that a show summarizes its whole deal that well. I just really think it's a good show. Also, the opening and ending songs both fucking slap.
No, that's all fair.
I know
My
you weren't
TLDR,
as big on it as I was, yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
I just didn't find a lot of the writing really enthralled me very often.
that's fair.
Um,
Like for all the praise I just heaped on it, I do think a lot of the writing tends toward the broad. That episode is kind of the exception, and even then, it's a little bit like this is like a story people have written before, just not in this exact way, which is kind of the bit that got me. Very
yeah.
like
I also kind of wanted it to be more eventful, I would say, because, yeah, like a lot of stuff happens for the characters while they're there, but they are mostly just hanging around in like an old, well, castle, pretty much,
it's
for
an
like 12
estate of some
episodes.
kind. Yeah, I mean that's
Um,
fair, I guess. I don't know.
you know,
It
it
does.
is what
It
it is.
does. It does make an attempt to strike the balance between its two genres. Strike. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't. I do think you can argue that it doesn't always succeed. So I don't know. Maybe put this in like a B, like a B.
Yeah. B or
Maybe
like Garcia's
maybe
Wing.
actually this kind of. I'm kind of
Here's the
tempted by the
thing,
Garzy's
B
Wing placement, but B
B
isn't
right now is
actually.
the bottom half of the tier list, but we will definitely like make more tiers, just being real. No, don't move B above Garcia's Wing. Just make more tiers.
Okay, well we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Hate Mushika.
We could put it in S.
Like, yeah, no, we will, but we can't just
I
say
had
that
my
without
problems.
talking about it at all.
I had my problems with it, but also like, my God,
Like, not to,
not really a lot of shows doing this
like, that,
in
not
its
to,
genre as well.
just to put the cards on the table. Like, this was my favorite anime that aired last year. Um, I okay. I think that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, people look back at the 2020s. They're gonna be like, what were the? They're gonna ask like, what were the main currents of this medium at this time, right? Like, what were the the artistic developments in anime in the 2020s? And they'll identify a couple of them, some bad, some good. The whole Narrow K thing obviously is still ongoing. That's a one I would say I'm not very fond of, but there's plenty of good ones. Um, there's been a lot of interesting post-apocalyptic anime lately, which all have a kind of a similar shared ethos among them. That's one of them. Another one, obviously, is the whole girl band thing, which obviously, you know, girl band anime have been a thing for a while. I mean, the original Bang Dream anime aired like 10 years ago, a little bit longer than that. Josh? Hello?
2017?
Okay. Okay, so 9 years ago. But the original Bang Dream anime is already about almost a decade old. Um, and there's been, obviously all of that is inspired by like Idolmaster, and there's a whole continuity there, right? Um, but the point I'm getting at is all of these shows have like this same process of being about teenage girls processing their feelings with music. Yeah, like that's the whole thing about
Yeah.
the genre. We can all agree with that. Whether you like it or not, that is what it's doing. Um, Ave Musica, I think, is going to mark an interesting inflection point. Um, where the things that come after this are going to need to address what it was doing in some way. And what it was doing was it asks, well, if this whole thing is, young people using the power of music to communicate to each other, what happens if that doesn't work? Um, because a huge chunk of the whole thing with the Ave Musica anime, which is, of course, a sequel to It's My Go, which is itself the Bang Dream anime from a couple years ago, starring the titular My Go band. It's kind of an inversion of that, of like what if the music actually and the artifice and the whole institution of a band actually pushes these people farther apart and makes them worse. Like what do we do then? Um and the slightly frustrating thing about talking about Ave Musica right now is that it's season 2 of a thing that's going to have 3 seasons. So we don't
Minimum.
know where that's going to end up ultimately. But I think the fact that it's pushing in that direction and being like, hey, like, like we need to think about this. We need to have like some conversations about this. I think that's like genuinely like really really interesting. And it's not because it's dark or melodramatic, even though it is both of those things. I think there's probably a way you could make like a more grounded version of this show, but I would be a little bit less interested in it just because of my own aesthetic preferences. Um, but I do think it's interesting that it is pushing that way. And people make these lazy comparisons about like, oh, it's like the Madoka or the Ava of the band girl genre. And the thing is, they're not right about that, but I get what they mean. because those were also things that kind of marked an inflection point in that way. And I do think that this is going to be a similar thing. I would not be that surprised if in a couple years you see shows that are very obviously taking after Ave Musica. It might happen already. Like we might get one like toward the end of this year. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's where I'm at. It's S. It's
Yeah.
If people don't bite this show, that's a bigger shame than if they do. That's where I'm at. I've rambled
No,
too
that's
much.
fair.
MagicPlanetAnime.com. Go read my end of the year article where I talk even more about why I like Ave Musica a lot, and link to a bunch of other articles where I talk even more in those about why I like it.
Whoa.
Mono.
I also think Ave Musica, like...
Yeah, actually, sorry. I completely monopolized
okay.
that. If you have anything to say, go right ahead.
I think it was a weird show to watch seasonally. It was made more annoying by the fact that I was kind of always waiting for, like, a fucking fan
Oh yeah, the
subscription.
sub situation was so obnoxious.
Yeah.
I really hope that doesn't
made
happen with season 3 and the...
not the fault of the show, but that made for, like, a test of patience with the viewing experience.
Yeah.
It was a weird show to watch in terms of really wanting more Ave Musica music and getting basically none. Until the very end, where they were like, hey, we heard you, Josh. Here's 3 full-length songs in the same episode, and you've not heard any of them before.
People, the crazy thing to me, I remember, like, my server, spoiler alert, I run a Ave Musica fan server, was really happy with the finale. There were people who were, like, mad. Who were like, we wanted like a proper narrative conclusion to this, and it's like,
motherfuckers, you got
wait,
fuck off. Oh no, I got 3 full-length performances of brand new songs. They're all fucking incredible, and this is like a thing that Music Academy just don't do. By the way, you do 1 full-length song per episode, and if you're doing more than 1 song,
yeah, I mean, like,
none of like only one of them is new.
Yeah, like the thing is, right?
I've been around.
The thing is, right? We can talk about Ave Musica's like weird structure with regard to that because there's a big chunk in the middle of the series where there are no songs. It is just character drama. And dude, the whole thing with like like Uika having like a whole episode that's just her monologuing about her very fucked up past. Just like
ruled, though.
Yeah, like that whole
That's
shit.
The thing.
That whole shit, like it rules. And even with all of that in mind, the show still gives us, like off the top of my head, there's the opening and the ending, Kill Kiss and Georgette Me, Georgette You. There's fucking Imprisoned. There's Imprisoned. There's and then the 3 at the end. So that's like 7 songs. Well, one of those is a minor song, and there's also the cry sheet performance in the middle of the show. But it like there's, I think that the playing with the structure is like really interesting. Like the way that it plays with the structure of these things and like bats around the audience expectations of like, what
a girl's band anime is.
Yeah, like okay, like you think that we're gonna do like a big cathartic performance. Well, we are, but only for one of the characters, and one of the other ones is like really uncomfortable about it. Like that's the, I don't know. It's a really interesting dynamic that like like unless the 3rd season just fumbles the fucking ball super hard, which is not impossible, but I don't think it'll happen. I really think it is like a generational show. It's fantastic. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Also, not to put too fine a point on it, that episode where Uika talks about her entire backstory and the thing leading up into that, that had a really funny effect on some particular Discord servers. And just some individuals in general.
I actually don't know what you're alluding to.
I'm just gonna type this.
Okay. Yeah. No. Sorry, folks. This one's for us.
Yeah.
This might be huge spoilers. Oh yeah. Okay. No, I remember now. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fallout that ensued.
Look, if you have somehow not seen Ave Mujica, watch Mygo and then watch that, and you'll either get it or you won't. And even if you don't get it, at least you can say that you gave it an honest shot. Okay, it's one of those
Yeah.
things. Um,
Mono,
Mono. I like Mono.
I
I
loved Mono
I
quite
think
a lot.
Mono was probably my favorite like Yasuke show to come out this year, and there were a couple of them.
I haven't made like a fucking actual top five or anything. Um, but Mono is like either S or A to me. Um,
I could go with A for sure. Mono
there.
is interesting. It's nominally about like a video and photo club
Yeah, the
at a high
Cinephoto
school.
Club,
Yeah, at a high
but they're
school.
really just the Kino Club.
Yeah, very funny. Um, but it's kind of got like an interestingly rambly nature, which a lot of people took that as a negative. Because there's like whole episodes that are about like other characters, or they'll just do something totally unrelated to the premise. Um,
Yeah,
there's a there's two like ghost story episodes.
yeah,
The supernatural is just casually confirmed to exist in Mono, which is really fun to me.
yeah, it's
Um,
Pim.
this and another show, which we'll get to shortly, were kind of tied neck and neck for me for like best sort of like slow motion, easygoing Iyashike, as I already said, anime of the year. Um, I think I like Mono a little bit better than that other one, which makes me feel like a contrarian, but
Well, I
I don't
know
know.
what the other one is, and I like the other one more. Um,
That's fair. I mean, we could just do that
don't.
one next.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I was gonna say, don't hover your mouse over Bad Girl while I'm saying that, because it's not Bad Girl that I'm talking
no, I was
about.
like, we might as well talk about these two together because they're in the same genre. So
Yeah,
let's pop this into
top of
A.
the.
We're not ranking the tiers, uh,
Yeah, but come on.
unless we are. But look, I'll
Well,
think
we're
about it in
not,
a
but
second. Okay.
you know,
Uh,
for
this
me,
and Ruby Rocks is like the other one in this genre. Ruby Rocks has a lot more focus. The anime,
yeah,
also known as Introduction to Mineralogy, which I still think is a better
very
title,
good.
but whatever. Um,
I'm just
like
a Ruri Nahoki true for myself.
that's also fair. Uh,
Yeah,
like
my thing with Ruri, just
yeah, yeah,
I love both of these shows. I think both of these are incredible. They're both visually delightful as well, which is always
true,
helpful.
true.
Um, I think Mono could feel a lot more like touristy, you know? Go to a place
That's fair.
that is a
It is
real
by the
life
Euro
feel
Camp
there.
guy.
Yeah.
To be fair,
And I like that shit, Ruri though is a lot more like, hey, this is just shit that exists literally all around you, no
yeah.
matter where you are anywhere.
Hey
It
Josh.
really encourages a particular appreciation for the natural
Hey Josh.
world and the ways in which the world is, like connected for thousands of millions of years.
It is like genuinely a fantastic thing about the show. Is somebody that I follow on Blue Sky. I will bring up my Blue Sky mutuals probably more than once during the course of this video because they are
Yeah.
often the people from whom I get the impressions of what other people think of anime. When
Yeah.
I'm not checking Reddit, which
Oh, I love Reddit.
um the one of my Blue Sky mutuals was like it's a show about the poetry of geologic deep time, and I was like, I fucking hate that I didn't come up with that because it's such a good way to put
Yeah.
it. You know,
No, that's
writer's
fair.
envy, but um, it is,
By the
and
way, I have
it's the more focused of the two. So I think really it does just come down to personal preference, which one you prefer, and I go
yeah.
back and forth myself. Obviously, there's also the other angle with Ruby Rocks, which is like, why doesn't a hot geologist lady take me under her wing? Which,
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to watch the show through that lens, I am not going to stop you.
and the show is not going to stop you either. I'll be
It will
happy to
not. It
accompany
will
you.
not.
Um,
Anyway, you have to talk about it for like another minute or two because I have to run to the restroom. Be right back.
Go for it. Well,
Geology.
fortunately, I have a friend who is currently doing PhD study in Canada for geology. Um, Specifically, she's focused on some stuff to do with diamonds and how they form, and um, it's a bit more involved than I am able to succinctly describe because, yeah, it turns out PhD study is involved. But well, she was doing that, and I was like, hey, she listens to me like talk about anime. She doesn't watch anime herself. She just, we like talking to one another. Um, I as I was watching the show, I was kind of like going through it, and like telling her, "Oh, hey, this happened in this episode. Oh, have you like encountered this mineral before?" Um, like asking her a few questions, and when the show finished, and I was like, that was like a really great show for all of these reasons. She was like, it's also, I'm grateful you got to see something that kind of shows a little bit of what I do. And I was like, yeah, wholesome. Um, so aside from the fact that the show is just really, really good, I got to share that experience with a friend, which was nice. Also, Shoko Seto, the red-haired girl, her character arc made me cry
All right, I'm back.
really badly.
Hello.
Welcome back, Jane.
Were you telling the
I told
people
this
about? Yeah.
I told the story about my friend doing PhD study in geology,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Okay.
fact
Yeah,
that I got
yeah.
to talk to her about a show that she was not watching,
Nice.
obviously. But she was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I'm glad you learned a bit about what I do through
That's
this show."
awesome.
And I was like,
Yeah. No,
"Hell yeah,
that's like a genuine bonding moment. Anyway, yeah.
yeah."
Uh,
Also,
good shows.
personally, if I'm doing this, I'm putting Rory in S. I'm probably also mono, but um,
You must understand that there's some real stuff we're going to be putting in S, and not just I don't
yeah,
just mean Ave Musica.
no, I know. But I'm talking shit. I'm fucking love Brewery in particular.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Bad
Bad Girl.
Girl. Bad Girl's nice.
So Bad Girl is essentially just a comedy Yuri anime. It's
Yeah,
good. I have a lot of affection for it specifically because I watched it with my girlfriend.
yeah.
And not to put too fine a point on it, the show is good for that. It, if you are also a trans woman in a lesbian relationship, I highly recommend watching Bad Girl together with your partner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I think I would just describe it as good but not amazing. You know, it's pretty
A
fun.
classic.
It's not always that
It's
funny. I said the line.
no,
Um, it's
it's
kind of ugly, but yeah,
I
that's
don't think
okay.
it's ugly, but it's definitely there were a couple shows this year where it was like bubbles kind of starting to burst, huh?
Yeah,
Like like shows I liked for other reasons, but with like the visual aspect is just not quite there as much as you would want it to be. I think with a more production polish, this could be like honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, even with production polish, I would still probably say it's more of a B show than anything. But it's
yeah,
a good B show. That's not a bad thing.
yeah. The first
Um,
episode was insanely horny, and then the rest of the show was only sometimes horny.
yeah, they
They just
really
they just front loaded the first
they were
episode.
really proud of coming up with that like dog girl outfit for her.
Yeah,
They were like,
yeah,
"Hey, look at this! Remember when we showed you this?" And it's like, "Yeah, I remember."
yeah.
Anyway,
Now, I'm gonna quickly say a thing, which is that Ruri, Mono, and City. I believe I gave all three of those a 9 out of 10. Um,
hmm.
and it's hard for me to pick a favorite amongst them.
It's actually
Um,
quite easy for me, I would say.
well, the thing is, I'm saying that, and then I'm also about to say it. So let's put City in S tier.
Yeah. So here's
Um,
the thing. Um,
Kiwani.
the main reason that these three are not perfect peers is that City the animation is just generally more up tempo and zany and more comedic than those two.
Yeah,
Um, but if we treat them as part of the same broad genre, then this is just the best one that aired this year. This is actually in my very first like because before I actually write my article where I rank all the shows that I watched from a given year, I will just do like a couple different like bullet point lists to see like what orders feel right for like the top five or so. And I actually thought
Yeah.
about putting City at number one, and the only reason I didn't is because I'm a sellout. Because
Bruh,
the other two things, spoiler alert, the other two things that uh, I, I liked this much this year were Ave Musica and something else that we'll get to, both of which are part of large franchises that have like a lot of commercial appeal and a lot of characters and like a deep histories and all that nerd shit that you're supposed to not care about if you're like a respectable art critic. Um, City the Animation is like the. I would not be surprised if it emerges as like the kind of the respectable consensus best anime of 2025. It's
it'll
really good.
it
It's
will be in the conversation for
like, yeah,
kind of ever.
like,
You know?
this is another one where I'm like, if people are still going to be talking about this in 10 years, like absolutely, like 10,
People
20.
are still talking about Nichijou.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like a lot of this stuff is being viewed through the lens of like, oh, well, it's Kyoto Animation doing this, and it's true, but it's specifically Kyoto Animation doing a, I forgot his name. Remind me of his name.
Arawakeiichi.
Thank you. Arawa Keiichi manga again. Um,
Yeah.
which is interesting because I actually think the shows are fairly distinct. Like you would not mistake an episode of one for an episode of the other. Like they're
I
obviously
mean, part of
from the same creative mind, but they operate in like different tonal spaces a little bit.
there's a lot of reasons that's the case, but I think one of the big things is like Tuani as a studio aren't content staying in the same place. They're a studio
Yeah.
that want to challenge themselves. City
Who's the,
doesn't
who's the,
look like Nichijou.
it does
Like
not.
it,
No, it's
it
got a
quote
very
looks
distinct
like
visual
Nichijou,
style.
but yeah,
Well, the character designs are similar because it's
yeah,
the same mangaka.
yeah.
But
But that's kind of where it
yeah,
stops. You know, they are
a lot of it, and I wish I had thought of
a
this in
lot of it's meant
time.
to backgrounds.
I wish I had thought of this comparison in time to put it in the article that I wrote. But a lot of it kind of has like there's a lot of like wide sweeping shots of the city itself because this is like a
Yeah.
thing the show is very concerned with, the idea that the community is kind of like a living and breathing organism. Um,
Hmm.
there's like a lot of these wide sweeping shots, it's almost like something out of like an I Spy book or like a Where's Waldo or something like that.
Well, we could talk about the sequence.
Yeah. Um,
Episode 5 of
episode
City the
five. Yeah.
Animation is one of, like, without exaggeration, the most insane things I've ever seen put to animation over such a sustained length as well. There's a certain sect of people you can find on the internet whom argue that KyoAni aren't exceptionally talented or anything. It's just they have good working conditions. And if other studios had working conditions as good, they would be putting out shows
Yeah.
that looked as
I
good. And I have always thought that is a stupid notion. But especially after that sequence from City,
it's God,
no,
I
no,
don't
those guys have something in the fucking water.
like I don't like to I kind of did this with Ave Musica too, to be fair. I don't like to try to predicate my praise of something on arguing against people who I think are making
Oh
dumb
yeah, it's
arguments
totally
that
straw
are
man, but
meaningless.
the sequence
Straw
is really
manning.
good. That's the key part.
Like the thing is though, if anybody had any doubt that like Kyoto Animation like this year, like Kyoto Animation present tense,
Yeah,
still have it. What do you think that means? The episode 5 sequence where because okay, this show's got like this very zany antics driven vibe. There's this bit, it's just real comedy. There's this bit where this episode where they all like go into this like goofy like tower where they're trying to scale the like escape from the tower, and over the course of the episode the party like the characters like split up and more people come into the tower. And instead of following all of them in sequence like you would in pretty much any other anime, they just dividing the screen into smaller and smaller cells so you follow all of these characters doing all of this stuff at once. And then at the last scene of the episode is they all go out into the they get out, they all go out into the courtyard around the tower, and it just gradually stitches them back together as they've got all of these little bubbles with all these different groups of characters in them. And it is like, okay, it's a technical marvel, yeah, but it's also just like really gorgeous, and it like you know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, if you want to make a case for anime as like a meaningful part of the animation arts, right? If you want to get like really hoity-toity about it, you know, that's the kind of sequence you'd show somebody if you wanted to do that. You know, more so than any like Sakuga type thing that would normally get shown off. I think that sort of thing is like just the sheer amount of bodies in motion and all the little details. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You see it come together, and you sit there and think about the fact that, like, a person had to time
all that,
all
yeah.
And it's like, it's the most like daunting fucking thing I can imagine.
The fun thing to me is that the guy that directed City, Ishidate Taichi, he's done stuff for sure, but he didn't direct Nichijou. And again, I'm kind of strawmanning here, but I do vaguely remember when the staff got announced, there was like a little bit of doom posting of like, oh, they didn't get the Nichijou back. It's over. Which, you know, no. I mean, just like that's just kind of all there is to it. Just like, no, it was not over. It was good. I think, it's basically just a perfect show. I don't know. It's like, in terms of doing the thing that it wants to do perfectly. Of it's like, here's like a whole town full of characters, and you are going to care about all of them at least a little bit by the end of the show. And we're not going to do anything big or dramatic. We're just going to have them all be kind of silly in their own ways. Yeah. And I think there's a tendency to maybe rate that a little bit lower than dramatic work. I mean, we're kind of doing that right now, but you know, it is like a worthwhile thing for sure. Like I think it's very praiseworthy. It's a very good show. Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of anime from this year, of which, you know, we have a few that
we keep saying this year. We do mean 2025, but like, it's January 4th. So give us a break.
Fuck off. In terms of anime from 2025, I think it's one of the ones that will be remembered the most and deserves to be remembered the most. Yeah. And speaking of anime from 2025...
Yeah, hey. So,
just kidding.
Here's a fun thing. We were going back through this, and we were like, what did we watch in 2025 that we both saw that we can talk about for this list? Because that's the only qualifier here. It's just we both have to have seen it, and we had to have seen it sometime before this time in, you know, like sometime before
the calendar year 2025.
Yeah. Adolescence of Utena we watched on January 1st, 2025. Yeah. Josh and I had this whole thing going on where we were involved with a week-by-week rewatch of Revolutionary Girl Utena. Yeah. It was Josh's first time seeing it, my second time seeing it, and the capstone was Adolescence of Utena. Adolescence of Utena is, like, I think you can make an argument pretty easily of just like the best anime thing. It's so like, like this is one of those things where I feel underqualified to say why Adolescence of Utena is good. Like, yeah, okay, like the whole thing, because I don't know if people who haven't seen it know this. Adolescence of Utena is not a straightforward sequel to the TV series. It's like a retelling that is also kind of a sequel,
Yeah,
like alternate continuity thing, but also because of the way Utena works, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a sequel. It's a whole thing.
yeah. You're watching the narrative be reinterpreted.
Yeah, there's like this whole people have written a lot of literature on Utena, a lot of which I have attempted to read. It is some of the relatively rare anime criticism, not to denigrate anybody else in my field, but most of us are kind of just going off vibes. That's a fair thing to say. I can say it. I am one of us. Uh, but it is the fairly like the body of work around Utena in general is like a fairly rare field where like I read it and I'm just like I don't understand this. like I um the show itself I would say I have a good grasp on. The movie slightly less so, but we have this whole idea of like you needing to break out of this cycle of endless repetition of like a fake youthfulness. And I think if I can do anything, it's to frame the movie as like that cycle in its wane, like as it's dying. Um, because I think you can make the argument that the movie shows the end of it, whereas the show only implies that that ends. And I'm speaking in very vague and symbolic terms because that's kind of the sort of show that this is, the sort of series that this is. It's a fantastic film. like it just in terms of giving you like a lot to think about. It's fucking gorgeous. Like I don't even know how to. Josh, you chime in here.
I want to say, for everything that we have been saying, it's also important to know the movie is just fun. If you aren't very smart and you just decide, I'm just gonna put on Adolescence of Utena,
Yeah,
you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is awesome.
yeah, that's also true.
It's fucking beautiful as well, by the way. There's like a
Yeah,
BD remix on .sic that I recommend torrenting with torrenting. I'm encouraging piracy, okay? In case that wasn't obvious, there's a BD remix that you should download and take screenshots of yourself and
you
send
should
to
watch it
all
on
of
the
us.
biggest screen you have, and then you should go back through it and take a billion screenshots and save them as
Yeah,
wallpapers.
yeah. Um,
Which is such a like.
no, it's fucking gorgeous though. It's so
It's really
fucking.
gorgeous.
It's so stylish. As
Also,
well, there's not a shot that isn't like, what can we do to make this the coolest thing ever?
yeah,
Um,
like
I
I
want to
just,
live in its world
I mean,
with a camera, and I can leave whenever I want.
yeah,
I
that's the
don't have
thing,
to
right?
engage in
Yeah,
narrative
yeah,
or turn into a car.
yeah. I don't. You got to be careful, Josh. Some of the comments you were making about Akio when we watched the show you might get stuck there.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Huge sign appears above Josh's head that just says "person who kept saying Akio was sexy."
Hey, stop it! Unblessed. S.
Yeah.
What?
Um.
This was nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I
okay, well,
we can we
nice is
can.
quite the word choice actually for a show.
No, it's
Just
actually
about
very
40.
nasty.
Yeah, here's
But
two people. They're both just honestly fucked.
yeah,
And here's a third person that's also kind of fucked, but not quite as fucked. Just put them in a little room together and shake them about and see what
situations.
happens.
Yeah.
Um,
Watanabe is another show this year. I was like, I feel like if this looked like 20% better, people would be all over this shit. To be fair, a lot of people
It's not
watched it
ugly.
anyway. It's not ugly. It's definitely. I think the phrasing I used was it was fighting against a threadbare production. You can really tell.
Like, even that's a bit extreme, but it's like all the drawings are fine, but like the storyboarding isn't the most like
Yeah.
inspired, you know?
The
Um,
directing is pretty good, but it's a whole thing. Um,
yeah,
as opposed to just rapping about his visuals. It's a Yuri series, but it's a very like yeah, if I describe something as toxic Yuri, I think people expect something like Zenkoa or something, which is not what this is. It's a more like
bit depressing,
slightly.
really.
Well, I mean, Zenko was also kind of depressing, but in a different way. Like it's like a like a it's like lower energy than that sort of like no there's not really a whole lot of like yelling or
You
anything
know
like
when,
that in
you know,
Watanabe.
dear viewers, when you want to unalive yourself, when
Hey,
you're perhaps feeling well, because I was gonna say when you're feeling suicidal, and it's like, how do you turn suicidal into? Because suicide is unalive, but suicidal.
so fun
How
fact,
do you? How do
I'm
you?
gonna ruin this whole fucking segment. Fun fact, I have heard people say sewer slide.
Okay, is
Sucks.
suicidal
Yeah,
the thing
sucks,
then?
doesn't it? Yeah, I guess so.
Why not like unalive it though, or something
I
that
don't
lives?
know.
But
None of this shit is real. Like you don't
the
actually.
main
It
character
doesn't
is
matter.
very, very suicidal.
Yes.
She meets somebody that will kill her eventually. Um,
That is the premise, at least, and then we find out that there's actually like quite a bit more to it than that, and it just kind of keeps
yeah,
going. Um,
yeah. It's
it's a show that's really good at introducing like a lot of subtle unease.
yeah.
And it's something where I'm like, I really need to read the manga of this because the anime
Oh, I
is
want to.
good, but I have a feeling that it probably works even better in print, where you can like really study the drawings a little bit.
I do like the
Um,
music though, and the
the
voice
music's
acting.
nice, yeah. The music and the voice acting are great. I'm not trying to impugn that at all.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just I don't know if it's necessarily the best format for this story. Is all.
yeah.
But yeah, no,
The thing is,
that's a solid B, I think.
oh, here's the thing. I wouldn't. I would put it like well above everything in B tier, but I also wouldn't put it in A tier. And I would feel a bit shit if, like, like if we put Watatabe and Garzy's in tier, that's like, what the fuck are you doing? Add a row above. 7 out of 10.
Okay,
I gave the show an 8, by the way.
I gave it a 7, so that's accurate for me at least.
Yeah, that'll do. Fuck the colors, by the way. We'll sort that later.
Yeah.
Yano-kun is like it's either a 7 out of 10 or a B, right? Yano-kun's just a neat rom-com. There's truly not much more to it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
appreciate that Bad Girl is like below Turkey.
I don't know.
Sure.
Fine. It like okay, fine. Let's. Actually, I do think Watanabe is like better than all of these. That's true.
Yeah. Do
Only
we have
just
anything more
barely
to
for
say about
Turkey.
Yano-kun?
I mean, okay. The thing I keep saying about Yano-kun is that if you're the sort of person who likes to uh watch a character, okay, because the premise of Yano-kun is that there's a high school boy who frequently gets into accidents because of what is very vaguely referred to as a predisposition. Um, and the main girl really needs him because of that. And if your favorite thing in the world is to see a straight girl be very stupid because of a straight boy, and you can like take a screenshot and say, "Is she stupid?" in your Discord server, you will love Yano-kun. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I like doing that sometimes, and I like Yano-kun just fine.
Yeah. It is
Good.
neat.
Yeah.
Um,
Bad girl. Or no, girl power. Sorry.
Girl power.
Yeah. God, no.
Makasete Iruka. Here's the thing. I kind of liked parts of this for a little bit, and then it went completely off the shit.
Where do we
Um,
even start? Like, actually, that's not fair. This one's actually pretty easy to explain. Uh, Girl Power is a comedy OVA about a trio of girls who do odd jobs. They live in like a coastal village. Um, its sense of humor is a little whack even before it starts truly going off the rails, but it has its moments up to a certain point. Um,
yeah.
and then about halfway through, it turns into this weirdly like libertarian tirade about self sufficiency. I don't know how else to put it. Like the girls just start like because there's this guy that they're with that they're looking after, and he's like trying to join their little club, but they keep like telling him off basically. Um, and they keep like hammering on about how they grow their own food and all this other stuff, and how someday they want to and how they're like trying to save up money so they can buy their own private island, and it just becomes this again like really libertarian, just totally deranged fantasy of like total self sufficiency. It's very strange. It's like one of the weirdest left turns, or should I say right turns, I've ever seen an OVA take. It's very bizarre, and
Yeah.
also awful. Uh, there's
Coinciding with that, all of the humor turns into scat humor.
which is if you would ever like to know what my least favorite thing in the world is, that's down there. So yeah, not much more to say about that. Honestly, I think this is kind of insulting to Hyoka.
Yeah, we can rename it Jujutsu Kaisen if you want.
All right. No.
Yeah.
Anyway. Uh
Dominion Police Tank Force.
Dominion Police Tank Force is basically three separate one-shot OVAs with how little the episodes have to do with each other, and all of them kind of rule, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
um, God. The long and short of it is the first episode is kind of a like sci-fi cop thing, but it's also kind of satirical. There is a point where a police officer was reading a book called How to Kill. It's not very subtle.
Yeah.
Also, at some point there are thieves introduced, and the thieves are sexy '80s cat girls,
Yeah,
and
and like
it
some
does.
guy who's a fucking
It like a mole man, I
like
think. Is that am I
he's like a
remembering that
genetic
right?
experiment that
Yeah.
was
Okay.
created in a lab or whatever, and he's like the most beautiful human, but you know.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
They ride like tanks, but the tanks are like these weird sort of fucking sci-fi bubbly
Yeah.
things. They're kind of awesome.
Hey Josh, guess what I'm
Um,
about to tell you to do again?
Carry the tier.
I gotta go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Ah, this is a hard show to do that for. Okay.
It's
Um.
fine. Just ramble about the weird like turn toward Gaia stuff in the last episode.
Oh yeah, like at the end of the show. The thing is, I don't remember it in great detail because we watched it a while ago. We're supposed to watch all its sequels, but we haven't yet. Um. Yeah. No. It goes off the shits in a really fun way. Personally, my preferred tank show that I watched this year was Girls in Panzer, though. Which Shane did not watch, but EOB picked it for his Mugwatch show in like April or May or something. And I wasn't sure how I would feel about it because I'm kind of not exactly into military aesthetics. Um, but the show like really won me over, and I'm at the point where it's just like, yeah, I just like love Girls in Panzer a lot. I've been considering increasing my score for the movie up to a 10. I bought the fucking Switch game. Um, I would like to buy the whole show on Blu-ray, but I want to wait for the fast finale films to be over. Jane's almost back. Girls in Pants is really good. That's my main point. I like it more than Dominion fucking Tank Police, but Dominion Tank Police is also good. Girls in Pants is just, I like Meeperine, and Anzu is my goat as well, and Mako, of course. Of course, you would all know how much I like Mako, because I talk about it all the time on Mugcord YouTube. Um, I no, I couldn't answer. Never mind. Well, I could. I have made a tier list of like girls in Panzer characters, but I can't be bothered like redoing it to make like a solo video, you know? So just gonna have to deal with the fact that you know, you'll never really find out. We've got quite the string of fucking shows coming up, by the way, Jesus Christ. Yeah. But no, Dominion Tank Police Force, good fun. Um yeah, yeah, yeah. I could probably just talk about girls in Panzer again. Micah's getting picked up on like crazy on Jane's end. Um, that sounds like her about to come back. Yeah.
Alright. Fear not, Josh, I've returned.
Welcome back. I sat in dead silence the entire time.
I hope that's not true.
It's not true, don't
Okay.
worry.
Where are we putting this, we think? Like, B?
7?
7? Okay.
7 or B.
I thought I'll accept a 7 for Dominion Tank Police. It's... Actually, no,
It's
I
pretty
mean,
fun.
okay. I feel like it's kind of a turkey. Does that make sense?
Okay. No, I know. I'll take it.
Okay.
Look, we need to talk about G-Quacks now.
Ah.
It's the most efficient, like, summation of G-Quacks, just the iconic quote, the fall-off needs to be studied. Because, like, here's the thing, okay? When we do 2025 mugboards, not if, when, G-Quacks deserves to win Best Character Design, and also be, like, in the running for Middest Anime, which is a category at the Mugboard Awards,
That
as we
is
all
true. That is true.
know.
Um,
Because G-Quacks,
God.
it starts pretty great, but it just fucking...
The way it falls off, it... Okay, here's the thing. I think...
I've got my own here's the thing as well, but you do yours.
Okay. I think that if you ignore the fact that these episodes are supposed to link together to form a coherent story, because that's how narrative works,
Yeah.
they're fun. And they are fun. Like, there's a lot of interesting, like, individual action pieces or, like, little character moments. There's the whole thing with Neon joining Sion. There's the whole clan bat thing in the first half of the show. Machu's weird, like, bisexual love triangle thing, which, I mean, honestly, Shuji is kind of a weak link in the show, but whatever.
I fucking hate him.
I didn't hate him for the longest time, and then the last episode is, like, in large part about why Machu wants to fuck him, and I'm like, okay. You say your thing, because I have, like a grander thing to weave here.
I'm just kind of gonna like jump ahead a little bit and say,
Mm-hmm.
I think G-Quack suffers from. It's like they kind of tried to fuse two different shows together,
Mm-hmm.
or to go even more cynically. And I realized, like, yeah, this is like a dumb fucking comparison if you like actually place any serious like faith in it, but it feels like trying to insert OCs into like a canon story that otherwise exists. Because you've firmly got Machu, Neon, and Shuji,
who are your characters.
Yeah. They're kind of just the new characters that we will follow for the perspective of the show. And then you've just got all the 79 shit.
And Char Aznable is also there. Like,
Yeah, no, like some really nice shit is there, you know.
Like, okay, it just here's what gets me. Here's what gets me. Um, Springboarding off of what you said, a lot of the criticism around G-Pox is like, oh, this feels like fan fiction. The thing is, and I made this same point in my written article, so if I'm repeating myself because you read that, I apologize. But uh, fan fiction is a very low barrier to entry and very low stakes medium. If you write fanfic and it sucks, nobody cares. Like, like join the club. I've written bad fanfiction. Everyone has. Um, it, it when it gets to the point of it, actually, I didn't make this connection until just now. It actually kind of reminds me of the thing that happens with Naruto shows. Of this seems like something that should have been kept to the realm of like online dicking around. Like there is a very pronounced amateurishness to the way that the different elements are woven together. And I think it wouldn't
They barely
feel
are.
as bad if they had either gone less hard on that or much harder on it. If you had just picked one or the other, I don't think it would feel so weird. But
Yeah.
they didn't. I have a sneaking suspicion that what happened, because like a lot of the conversation around G-Clocks is informed by the literal decades of Gundam discourse that exist in English speaking anime fandom going back to like the 90s. I think that what happened is actually very simple and very common. It's basically the same thing that I think happened to Jellyfish Don't Swim in the Night.
My girl mentioned.
Yeah, I think that they thought they were going to get like 25, 30 episodes, somewhere around there. And then the company, like the business, the bean counters were like, you're getting 12, so tighten your script up. And they tried to and they failed. Like that's the kindest explanation I could come up with. The
Yeah.
less kind explanations are this person just doesn't know how to write, because I know it's mostly it not to be even less flat. I think it's a little bit of a Darling in the Franxx situation where it's mainly like one guy's baby.
I don't
Yeah,
remember, to be fair.
I believe it is. Yeah. No, okay, I'm making that up. I think. Never mind. But even so, like I think there was just a very simple problem of not enough space, not enough time to hold on. Why am I getting a notification? Your microphone is unmuted but has no signal. What?
Huh. I can hear you fine, by the way.
Yeah. Um. That's clearly
Do we
not
pause
true.
the recording and you jump to this
Yeah.
point just to be sure?
Just to be fair. Okay, and if we'll put a cut in here, and hopefully it's fine.
Yeah. Penis cut.
Yeah, hello,
Um,
we're live again. What the fuck were we talking about with G-Quacks? Oh yeah,
Gundam is
no, yeah,
bad.
yeah, no. Like I don't know if it's quite the same as like a Darlifer situation where it's like mostly like one guy doing the writing, but it just seems like there was an attempt to make like a longer story that didn't pan out. The other option is that this person is just bad at writing, which it happens. Like the real nail in the coffin for me, and this is true of everybody, because I was enjoying myself up through the finale. Like I was at the point where I was like, well, I don't know if I'd say this is good per se, but it's at least fun. Um, and then I found out that they cast Amuro's original voice actor in the finale,
Furuya.
who is like if you're unfamiliar, I won't go too far into it, but is like a known piece of shit and should not be getting work
Not a
from a
piece
big
of
company.
shit where there's like nuance, just like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's like,
yeah.
okay, so like all of this like pseudo like feminist kind of shit you were trying to do by having a female main character is just completely pointless. Then I guess like I have my problems
Yeah.
with G-Witch, which was the previous mainline Gundam series. But like
was good.
I don't even know if I'd go that far. It was like a good time though. Like if I'm evaluating it as a story, I kind of go back and forth. If I'm just like, did I have fun watching it? Yeah. And I did have fun
Do you
watching
want to
G-Quacks
watch?
too, up to a point, and then it be like I don't know. Um,
Do you want to watch G-Quacks for these cool new characters? Well, fuck you, because
yeah,
they're just kind
it
of very poorly defined in
the
every
the
single
thing,
sense.
yeah, the thing I was
Do
going
you
to
want
bring
to
up
watch
earlier,
G-Quacks as this like kind of
yeah,
sort of thematic like sequel slash reevaluation of like core Gundam concepts? Well, fuck you, because we're gonna spend like half the show on fucking clan battles with Matsu.
yeah,
Do you
it's
not necessarily have a preference among these two things and want a show
pardon me,
that's doing both? Well, fuck you, because you're not going to get any sort of harmonious unification between
yeah,
the elements that
yeah,
comprise the
it's
show. You're just going to get weird, kind of poorly written bullshit.
yeah,
And it's
it's
a shame because Matsu, the character design, is phenomenal, and I still want to buy a figure of her.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
even as a character, I felt like she was starting to come into sharper focus toward the end of the show. But by that point, it was the end of the show. Like, I don't know. Neon is honestly the more interesting protagonist, but they don't do anything with her. Um,
yeah,
the
everybody's very
the other thing,
passive.
yeah, like the other thing, and like I am sorry here because I know we've kind of rambled on about this for a while and
It's
complaining
because
about
G-Class is bad.
yeah, complaining about G-Quacks has become like very passe already to the point where there's people who are like, you guys are hating on it too much. I must stress, I gave the show a 5 out of 10, which is not a good score, but I didn't give it like a 2. I could have
Yeah, I
gone
give
much
it
worse.
a well.
Um, the thing is, what it reminds me of more than anything, and maybe this is just because I haven't seen a ton of Gundam. There's this whole, well, no, this is like part of it too. There's this whole concept of like the daikon lineage in anime production, which is, you go back to Gainax's very early work when they were known as Daikon Film, which was their like fan films for the Daikon convention, which was a thing back in the day. Might still be a thing, honestly, but that's not important for our purposes. And what people mean when they say that is like the approach and the ethos and the spirit of a certain strain of Gainax stuff. You hear it mentioned in discussions of Gurren Lagann, Fooly Cooly, um, that kind of show. Die Buster. And I really like a lot of those shows in spite of pretty pretty strong problems in some cases. For a while, I would have said Kill the Kill was my favorite anime, which is another one of these. Um, G-Quacks is there is some of that DNA in here, like definitely. And by the end of it, I was like, how many times am I gonna let myself get swindled out of watching an actual story by this kind of writing? Because it has happened before. Not with any of the shows I just named, but I mean, Darling in the Franxx is an infamous example of something that really tries to be something meaningful in that line of shows and just doesn't do it. Darling in the Franxx is worse than G-Quacks, but G-Quacks is not good either. And I don't know. Like, I just.
It's mid.
It is.
In
It's
fact,
just.
relative to the tiers named as such,
Needs more development.
it needs more development. It objectively
I
needs more
think
development.
if you trim some of the fat and you give it like 30 episodes, you've maybe got a good show in there. But we don't live in
Yeah.
that world.
Give
So
Matsu a fucking goal, please.
she wants to swim, Josh.
And then she does!
Yay!
And she still exists for like the rest of the show, though, without a goal.
Oh God.
Fucking hate Shuji, you piece of shit. Takapi's original sin.
Sorry, just one more thing.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
it's okay.
insane to me that you'd write Neon and not make her the main character. Because she just
Yeah,
objectively has the more interesting motive. She has, like, an actual personality. They give her the Gundam that looks like the fucking, like, unit, the purple one from Evangelion, Shinji's unit.
yeah.
It blows my fucking mind that you would do that and then not make her the protagonist. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, Takapi's Original Sin is very good.
I wasn't as into it as we
That's
know.
okay. Yeah,
It's one of the production horrors of the year. It looked phenomenal, like
we
start to
don't need to
fucking
use
finish.
that term.
It's
But
one of the production sluts of the year.
that's
It looked
even
phenomenal
worse.
from start to
Yeah,
finish.
no.
It's
I
one of the production
have.
skanks.
Stop it. Uh, I have my ups and downs with Takapi, but my thing with it is this. I think if you are like me and you are a huge sap and children in bad situations makes you cry just kind of inherently, um, you can watch Takapi and you will feel like genuinely moved by this whole story of like, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? Um, this little octopus guy tries to intervene in a problem that he doesn't really understand, and he just keeps fucking it up and making it worse and making it worse, and so on and so forth. And in the end, the only thing that works is removing himself from the situation completely, and
Yeah,
that's when we get our sort of happy ending. Um,
I feel like they had to contrive that ending so hard that it didn't work for me.
I've
Um,
heard other people say that too. I don't know.
for what it's worth, fucking Takafi spoilers. It was all worth it in my mind because then I got a bunch of Yuri art of Shizuka and
there was
Marika.
a fucking ton of fan art in that vein. I was
Yeah,
actually a little surprised, pleasantly
their
so,
their
but
their like time skip designs are like peak to be
they are
fair.
really
So
good.
you know,
But
yeah, I like the
anyway,
show more for that than
yeah,
for the
like
show itself.
like the thing is, I think, and I did this too when I wrote my first impressions article on it. I think there's kind of a tendency to overcomplicate Takapi. It's essentially like a fable. Like everybody's got fairly straightforward character motivations. Takapi is like the little, fey creature that
Yeah,
does the stuff and then gets out of the plot when he's no longer necessary. I don't know. I think it's a very simple show, which kind of cuts in an interesting way against how dark it gets at a lot of times, and I think that
yeah,
works really well for some people, and some other people are just like, this is stupid. And
like I'm between
I
those.
get that, but I am one of the people who was like, I remember watching the one episode and just being like, they killed her dog, and it just like, I don't know.
The most fun I had
Anytime
with the show.
anytime an animal gets hurt in anything, I'm a little sad. But anyway, this is a whole other conversation. Yeah,
The most fun I had in the show is when Shizuku or it's her name Shizuka or Shizuka?
I think it's Shizuka. It's Shizuka, right? Hold on. Am I?
It's Shizuka or Shizuka.
It's Shizuka. Surely. Yeah, it's Shizuka. Shizuka
Okay.
Kuze.
Admittedly, the most fun I was having was when Shizuka became the Joker.
That actually is kind of the part of the show where it started to lose me a little bit. I was like, why?
See, I was
Because
kind of never there for the plot, so
that's
her being
fair.
the Joker is
Uh,
like this rules
there
actually.
is like a definitely a very negative read you can do of Takapi, which I don't think holds up to a collision with the show as it actually is, but I get how people would get there. Of like, what? Well, if we're supposed to sympathize with her, why is it that the show goes out of her way to paint her as like, unpalatable? Like why is she the Joker, as you put it? Like why is she seem to like revel in doing all this bad shit when she gets the chance to? And I think the actual answer is just that one of Takapi's whole things is that like it doesn't really matter if the kid is like good or not. Like that whole
Yeah,
situation is fucked up anyway. But I do get how people could be like, it leans too much into shock value. I do understand. It's one of those things where it's like it,
I mean, all the
there's
people that are hurt just kind of perpetuate their
yeah,
own.
yeah. There's nuance to the reactions to the show because the show itself is again like surprisingly simple. I think we can
Yeah.
put this. I would honestly say this is like a 7 out of 10. Which
Oh, I
even
was
though
gonna say pretty much just like my actual. I gave it like a 5 or something, maybe even a 4. I can't remember, but
that's crazy.
7 out of 10 is the tier that it goes in.
Yeah. Even though I gave it an 8, but whatever. Necronomico and
Yeah,
the Cosmic Horror Show. This show is fine.
I am between. I really wasn't here for Necronomico for basically the entire show. And I know
You don't like the
hot,
gamer?
hot big titty Cthulhu GF who kisses.
Listen,
Uh,
I'm not
ne-
gonna pretend that I'm too good for that, okay? Cthulhu, in as depicted in Necronomico, did a lot to get me through that show, okay?
yeah, no, like that's fine. I respect it, but
Like, yeah, if you put like a
I
fucking
so much of this show just wasn't very functional for me and boring and frequently annoying.
boring, I
Um,
actually don't understand. But annoying, I get completely.
I
Like,
think if you try remember like the mid sets of the show.
uh,
Remember the game where it's like the fucking maze game?
yeah, that shit was hilarious because the fucking
I
mangaka,
wasn't here.
the mangaka is like,
Ah,
ha ha ha
fuck the
ha, I'm evil, and then he dies,
yeah,
and
it
it's
was
funny.
dumb and boring. I
I
didn't
don't know.
like it.
I thought it was a good time. It's Necronomico is the sort of show that I would never watch except week to week, and I didn't do that very much last year, which is probably a good thing.
The
But I
funniest
have
bit in
some fondness
Necronomico
for
is
it.
when the weird pedo teacher reveals that his family
It's
is
imaginary.
yeah.
That shit was like, what are you, like?
No, that rule. That was my favorite
It
part
was
of the
okay
show.
because the only thing we learned about that character up to that point, as you say, is that the show cracks a pedophile joke about him, which is really tasteless. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that's all we know about him for like 7 episodes of the show, and then toward the end, he gets into his like fucking game of it's War. It's the card game War, with what's his fuck, um. and he loses or whatever, or no, he wins, and then we find out that his whole family is imaginary, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, do you want the literal fucking worst plural rep of all time? Have I got the show for you? Like, I don't know, like that's gotta be like, at least in the shows where systems are evil or something, they usually get to do shit that's memorable, which I guess this is also memorable, but it's for the wrong reasons. It's such a stupid plot twist.
No, it was awesome.
There's
Remember
also
the fucking like Vatican guy introduced in like episode 2?
who?
I don't do anything till episode like 11.
Which one?
The Vatican.
Oh yeah, the fucking
Yeah, like the fucking heterochromia dark
yeah,
man
the
demon
like
doctor
the
guy.
Inquisitor who does like nothing for the entire show. Necronomico. This is the kind of shit that I liked about it though. It's like a very goofy and kind of bad show, but in like a charming way.
I have those, but this wasn't one for me.
That's
This was
fair.
like a firm. This was a
I
firm
do
mutual
think,
development
by the way,
to
that
I
is
don't know
the
why
that
it
is the tier it goes in. But like, I don't know. It's just like, gosh, do you remember what like the last episode that the blonde girl was in is her playing a shitty like Tokimeki memorial thing about her own life and crying?
Yeah, and the whole point is she's not allowed to save the game or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's
Can you beat this visual novel
It's
every ending in
so-
2 hours and she doesn't mash? What an idiot, by
it's
the way.
so like.
Cinema Sins ding ding ding.
It's so like that whole sequence, because the entire point is that character has like a shitty backstory, like she's had like a
Yeah.
bad life, and the point
Yeah.
that the I don't even remember which one it was, because other than Cthulhu, all the
It was
all
Chicken
the
Fuck.
it was Chicken Guy, but I don't remember his name.
Chicken Fuck.
Chicken Guy,
Chicken Fuck.
Chicken Fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, the point he's trying to make to her to torment her is like, ooh, there's nothing you can do to change your past other than, you just gotta keep reliving it, and your trauma defines you. Ha 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 ha. And then she points out to him that that's inane and stupid, which is like, okay, you've taken it one level clever, The thing I think you have failed to realize is that this entire setup is also really stupid. It's.
Did we ever learn who voiced those fucking weird little grey
I
aliens?
don't remember. They
Because I
didn't really
remember
do
being
anything.
determined that one of them was Aoyuki. Um,
Maybe you are the
hmm,
Aoyuki spotter.
yeah.
Necronomico and the
Jar
Cosmic
and
Horror Show.
Loigor. Did they get a cast reveal ever?
Doesn't look like
Or
it.
did they really keep that a secret?
Interstellar Jar is credited as the voice actor for Jar, and Interstellar Leogor is credited as the voice actor for Leogor. I don't know what's up with
Yeah.
that. Maybe it was the power of AI. Who knows? Probably not. Anyway, yeah. Cthulhu, uh, tentacled Ojo-sama doing like toxic Yuri shit with the main character. That's like genuinely fantastic. Rest of the show is kind of like a B movie, but that's okay.
Yeah, since I
Ca-
was truly just don't actually officially know. Um,
California Crisis Gun Salvo, Josh.
California Crisis mention, my god. This was one of the earlier let's randomly watch OVAs
Yeah.
that we watched. And to be fair, I don't even remember a lot about it other than it looked cool as fuck.
I mean, there's not much to remember other than that. It's just like
They are on a
it's
road trip and people keep shooting at
yeah,
them.
because they found
And they go to a nightclub.
like a thing from a UFO and they're not sure what to do with it. That's the plot, but the point of the show in my mind is just like uh, this is obviously
Holy
not
shit.
yeah, like in my mind this is the whole point of the show is like a bunch of Japanese animators and like a director being like, I bet California is really fucking cool. Like that's the whole thesis of California Crisis. Like
Yeah.
it is an inch deep, but by God is it vast.
Yeah.
That means nothing what I just said. Uh,
Nah, it's.
but it is like weirdly like a weirdly flattering depiction of the United States also, which is I don't know if that's something we really deserve, but it's a good time. It's like what 50 minutes long. It's very short
Something like
too.
that. I
So
feel like we
yeah,
watched the Laserdisc rip.
that might be true.
Yeah.
This is
Um,
honestly like
A?
yeah yeah
Like,
I
its
think so.
purpose is to look cool, and holy shit, it does look cool.
Yeah correct.
Yeah. Right, here's a big
Shokumin
disagreement point.
series season 2.
My god. So, Jane and I
Ah
had kind of divergent takes on, well, even just the first season of Shoshimin. Um, and as season 2 comes around, and season 2 is two arcs. There's Yurin-kun and his fucking fire investigation, and there's somebody got hit by a car. Um, and somebody also got hit by a car in the past. Um, and I think both of those arcs were kind of dog shit. Um, and it took very little time for them to like fall apart under an ounce of scrutiny. Um, and so for the most part, I didn't really like Shoshimin season 2. Plus, my goat Kango isn't really in the fucking season. And then
Kango.
Yurin-kun is like the actual like fucking protagonist for the
Huh.
first half. And he's so boring.
I will
And
say
then in the second half, my
I
goat Osanai doesn't really do enough. And
I will
I
say
don't have too many more thoughts, so I'm just
yeah
gonna like wrap them all off in a fucking bow. Um,
yeah
the main thing I like about Shoshimin, well, there's two things. It looks very nice. It's directed very
yes.
well, and every single line read that comes out of Hina Yomiya's mouth fucking captivates me. She can just be saying like the most pointless fucking drivel imaginable. It's like if I think about the lines you're saying, I fucking hate them. But if I don't, and I just sit and listen to your voice, it's like I'm in a fucking
Jog my
trance.
memory. Is that also nice voice actor?
Yes.
Okay.
Also Tomori,
Yeah, no, okay.
Maido.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I needed to
No,
put two and
she,
two together.
yeah.
Um
Her voice. is in front.
No, like okay, what we do not disagree about at all is that Osana Yuki, anytime she talks, is like the high point of the show. I
Yeah.
will say, I'm
My
looking at my
other,
own. Yeah, well,
yeah,
sorry, you
I've
finish
got
off.
like
I'm
one other
stepping
thing
on your
to
lives.
say.
Yeah.
Um, the scene where Kango, nope, the scene where Jogoro breaks up with his girlfriend is the funniest fucking anime scene of all time.
It's awesome.
Um, and it's on purpose to its credit. This isn't like, haha, this is so stupid. No, they did this one by design, and it was funny. Um, it's just his basically like some girl asks him out. Um, he just says yes without really learning anything about why. They're like dating. He's the most like nothing mundane, just exchange vague pleasantries boyfriend imaginable. And then there's like a scene, it's like 10 minutes of the episode, where she's just like, why the fuck did you date me? And she's like, and here's why I like started dating you for some. It was like basically a dare or something. I don't even really remember. And he's just sitting like completely matter of fact, like smiling the entire time. And he like breaks up with her like with a smile, and she's like, "You're a fucking freak, you know that?" And he's like, "Yeah."
the thing
And it was
is,
awesome.
the thing
It was
is,
so funny.
that kind of shit is what carries the whole show for me. Because the actual mysteries are like they're, I think they're good, especially the fireman arc where which is the first of the two, where they're trying to like catch this arsonist who is like setting random shit on fire in the city. Um, and instead of following either of our protagonists, we follow Urino, who is again kind of a nothing character and also very full of
He's
himself and thinks
stuck.
he's very smart. Uh,
Fuck you,
and
piss man.
he's also very like overbearing and kind of like impresses on Osanai's agency more than once. So it's a tough hang for a little while because we're riding along with this guy who sucks. Um, but then at the end of the arc, Osanai is just like, yeah, I solved this whole thing like a while ago. Also, you're fucking stupid, and I'm going to tell you why in extreme detail. And that's like half the episode is just her dressing this guy the fuck down, and it's the funniest shit of all time.
That
Like,
part did rule. It's great.
it's like that moments like that are what make Shoshimin series for me. I am noticing I have it at number 11 on my list, which kind of seems a little high. Which this is a list I wrote like a week ago. So what am I saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do like the parts that I like of Shoshimin series. I really like, and the parts that I merely tolerate, I think are they're fine. Um, I think I just have more of a more patience with the mystery stuff than you do, even though it's not really my thing either. Um,
Yeah.
the the thing is, I think that there should be a whole spin-off that's just Osanai fucking with people, and it would be the greatest anime of all time. That's what I
Well,
think.
because admittedly, one of the things that really bothered me about season two, but also the show as a whole, they frame Osanai as this like absolutely deranged, unhinged fucking psycho. And she sometimes is, but other times she's like frustratingly normal. Um,
I don't know.
and
I
you know,
I, I kind of like that contrast. Like again, the whole thing of like
okay, no, when I
her.
say frustratingly normal, I don't mean like it pisses me off that she sits and eats cupcakes. She can sit and eat cupcakes all she fucking wants. I love when she sits and eats cupcakes. I mean when she talks about like her epic style revenge on people, and it's like she did the fake kidnapping and like the urine kun bit, and that's kind of it. Um, it's like do more. Why aren't you in when in like final episode or whatever when she nearly gets clubbed with a hammer? She just like fucking throws sand at the girl and then like calls the police. It's like Osanai, you fucker. You should be like fucking skinning her alive. What the hell?
Josh, you're funny.
Where is Osanai with the steel bat, Jane?
Anyway, it's like B tier, I think.
Yeah, B is fine.
I think
Ninkoro, I fucking love.
anytime I think about Shoshimi, I'm always like I either am overrating this or underrating it, and I don't know which. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, Ninkoro is a good time. I again repeating myself from my article, but this is basically like for a while like goofball comedies were kind of what Shaft was mainly known for. People don't really remember this because I think nowadays people mostly think of them as the Shaft and Monogatari studio.
Yeah.
But there was a little while there where they were doing like Panty Pony Dash and Hitamori Sketch and Arakawa Under the Bridge and Andy at the Town Moves, like that whole thing. Sayonara Zetsubo Kun, I guess. Zetsubo Sensei. Um, and this kind of felt like a cool little throwback to that. And you know, um, is being like a little bit retro, like a very little bit retro, the most like the craziest thing in the world? No, not really. But I think like the central premise of the show works really well because you've got like a cold blooded killer, and then the ninja girl is just kind of stupid, and it's like yeah, it's a good time.
I think Ninkoro is just really fucking funny.
Yeah, no,
That's
it
it's
is.
really it's also got a lot of heart, like actually genuinely.
Yeah,
Um
yeah,
Satoko and Konoha's relationship like develops in a really sweet way
yeah. It's like
across the
cute,
course of the
which you wouldn't
show.
necessarily expect from a show like this. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Marin as well. I really love her.
I think that's kind
Um,
of the edge it has over something like from 2024, for example, like Shikanoko no Kono Tantan, uh, where like that show is pretty consistently funny and all that, but it doesn't quite have that little extra bit of
yeah.
sentimentality to tie it together.
Also, back on pure funny. Um, I'm a bit of a Saiyan nerd. Name Crow was a really fucking hilarious show to watch in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of a character will show up, will be voiced by one of my goats, and before I can even finish pogging, that character will get
Has been
killed.
murdered brutally.
Yeah,
It's so
turned
funny.
into leaves.
I My favorite thing that I learned about the anime is that they actually added more of those than there were in the
Yeah,
manga, which is really
yeah.
good. Um, it's such a funny thing. Like, hey, we've introduced this ridiculous, like awesomely over designed ninja character straight out of Senran Kagura or something. Boom, she's dead. It's
Yeah.
very funny. It literally never gets old. I was still laughing at it when they did it in the last episode. Well, they
It was
kind of
one
it
of
kind of
those shows
subverted at
where I
the end of the
didn't.
show actually. But anyway, yeah,
No, there's one near at the end.
yeah,
Um, the one near the end, voiced by the lady that does a bunch of like random trigger girls and shit.
yeah. It's
Uh,
it's. I honestly never remember her name. She's Haruko to me. It's like it's her.
yeah, that's the one. Um, yeah, no, legendary say is the point.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, Ninkro is like strong A for me as well.
strong A.
Um,
Wow. Okay. I was gonna
yeah,
put it. I was gonna
really
put it
fucking
like this
good.
tier, but okay. I mean,
No,
if you,
I think it beats ass.
yeah, okay, that's
Um,
fair. Hey Josh,
Fujimoto. Yep,
you can explain the premise while I run to the bathroom real quick.
yep.
Sorry, folks.
Um,
I'm on a Stradiol based HRT. Makes it piss a lot, unfortunately.
Jing. Um, yeah. Well, Tatsuki Fujimoto 17 to 26 is an adaptation of the works that Fujimoto was publishing, I think, from ages 17 through 26, funnily enough. Um, but the works he was publishing, one-shots. Fujimoto's a man that's done a bunch of one-shots, so Fujimoto 17 to 26 is an anthology adaptation of a number of those one-shots. They've actually been published in manga, tankobon release. I own them. I've read them. They're all pretty solid. And this anime project where each episode, or well, each one shot was handed to a different studio director, creative team, just in general, to be animated as its own individual anime episode was well, like a really Cool, obvious choice. We will probably talk about this when Jane gets back, but anthologies are a kind of underdone thing in anime as a format, especially at this scale and scope. Um, so this was a really nice surprise in that regard. And as I'm sure we will get to, it's also very good.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. I briefly spoke, I mean, I described, yeah, the premise, and then I said a thing that I'm sure we will get to anyway. Anthologies kind of pain. They should
Yeah,
do more of these.
they should. I we can start there, which is like I think that if they made, I don't know, even just like 2 or 3 anthology anime a year that were half as good as this, it would be worth watching. Like,
Yeah,
there's an interesting thing to be said about how Tatsuki Fujimoto is like the popular auteur of his medium right now, like one of the more popular ones for sure. To the point
yeah,
of getting something like this, where it's like, well, Chainsaw Man stuff is being worked on elsewhere and elsewhen. So what if we just adapt some of his old shit? And I mean, it worked. Like even the worst of these is still interesting, right?
yeah.
Um, like we'd be sitting here all day if we went through each one of them one by one. But like my favorites are. Let me think. Um, the one with the assassin and the immortal vampire, I think, is a really underrated one. Woke Up as a
Yeah,
Girl syndrome, from its very premise, is very interesting and also like visually really great.
yeah.
And there's one toward the end, Sisters. Yeah,
Sisters.
Sisters is my favorite of them. Very different from a lot of the other stuff that I think Fujimoto is known for, unless you've seen Look Back, in which case you already know he can do the of like uh like a more grounded character drama thing. I said Look Back. I actually mostly know that from Goodbye Eri, but whatever. Um, yeah, it's really like it's one of the more interesting things to come out this year, just in terms of like we don't get a lot of these, and I kind of wish we got more of them. Um,
Yeah,
just like I don't know, like there's mangaka where you could do one of these. Plenty of manga where you could do one of these. Like even just this premise again. Even some mangaka whose big things I don't really like that much, like the Spy Family guy, has a couple interesting one shots you could
yeah.
adapt. You know, like
It has been a cool thing, by the way. Like the Promised Neverland mangaka, the Spy Family mangaka. I think both of those have their one shots published in before
name
like
of
Spy
thing they're known
Family.
for.
Before,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Which, you know,
good fucking premise for like an anthology, whether
yeah.
in manga or anime form. But I really want to see more of them in anime form. It's just
Mhm.
such a like it's such a good use of the format. Like
Yeah.
okay, what if we eliminate like a bunch of the issues with narrative serial TV by just doing like less little one-offs?
Yeah.
I think it's a slam dunk.
And each episode to a different studio, see who cooks the hardest and
Yeah,
who cooks the
least.
well. Yeah.
I mean, and it's what like
Look,
okay.
you were like funny as fuck to be fair, but you know.
No,
Um
I would actually say Confession was one
yeah,
of
I'm
the
trying to
better ones.
remember what the ugliest one was.
It was Mermaid
Um
Rhapsody,
yeah, you're
which is
right.
a shame
Mermaid
because I really like
Rhapsody.
that one shot, but like, not they can't all be winners. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Um
like, look, it was still pretty good. It just visually it wasn't all there, and you know.
yeah. Um no, you know. That is
Yeah,
it's just how it goes. It's a really cool fucking project though. A lot of the stories are really good. They're all done like very well by and large. There's several in here that are like, oh, I wish, you know, I wish this was a full thing.
yeah,
Um, I think A is fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gnosia. We kind of cheated with this one because it's not over yet, but there's a couple that
Yeah,
we
but
kind of cheated with, so
we're
who
both
cares?
current, and there hasn't
Um,
been an episode this year so far.
that's true.
Wait a minute.
Um,
Hold on. No,
what?
Saturday was 2 days ago.
What?
Am I behind on Gnosia?
Josh, today is Sunday.
It's Monday, by the way, in my time zone.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I
Um,
guess so. Britain.
okay, I'm current. It skipped a week.
Yeah, no, it was
Um,
off this week.
yeah, that makes sense. New
Yeah,
Year's was Copa John off this week.
probably.
Um,
But
so yeah.
anyway,
Oh, Copa was
Gnosia.
on. My go.
Yeah,
Um,
Gnosia.
oh, for me for that. 12
Space.
episodes have aired so far. It's
Space
Among Us.
werewolf.
Yeah,
Among Us. Space werewolf.
yeah.
Um, based on a
Among
game.
Us is already in space, dude.
Yeah. Well, I said Space
Based on a
Werewolf, comma
visual
Among Us.
novel. Um,
Yeah. I really
oh,
like
really?
Gnosia. It's kind of hard to explain why. I I think for me, as somebody who has played some but not all of the game, I went in knowing. Well, no, I actually didn't go in knowing what to expect because I played some of the game after watching the first episode, so that's not even true. But what I think is interesting is that the show manages to make a series that's like 90% conversation compelling, just both visually and for the most part narratively too. There is definitely some redundancy from episode to episode because you have the werewolf game every time of like who's the secret alien thing, and then somebody gets voted out, and then that continues up to the end of the episode, and then, spoiler alert, there's a time loop involved, so our main character goes back to the start every time. Despite all that, I think it's been really good about like slowly revealing new things about the setting and about each character over time. And I guess I just really value that. Also, a lot of the character designs are very outrageous in a way that I respect a lot. Um, Also, I kind of need Rakio to be mean to me. It's okay to loudly thirst about non-binary characters on Mudcore videos. If it was a
This is
woman,
true.
I'd be shot.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're not
joking.
allowed to be attracted to women.
I'm joking.
No, Rakio is pretty peak. I'm not really quite as into the show. I feel like
Yeah,
the
I have gotten that impression.
well, my like TLDR is just I feel like this type of narrative is a lot harder to do in a non-interactive medium because I feel like the visual novel for this is probably like epic. Um,
To be fair, I do think you could. Well, the thing with the actual game, having played a decent amount of it before, fun fact, accidentally erasing my save file. Um,
nice.
yeah, good stuff. Is that because the thing with the game is that there is a lot of you have to go through the central loop like a lot of times. Like I was maybe about halfway through the game when I accidentally did that, and I had somewhere on the order of like 120 loops, I think.
Nice.
So it's a lot. um, I think the anime, aside from just the benefit of having like more to work with visually, uh, uh, cuts out a lot of that redundancy, which is not a bad thing in the game because that's like part of it. You want to really feel the like, my God, I'm going insane, like living through the same day over and over kind of thing. Um, but I think the anime captures it pretty well. There's a lot of interesting camera work in the anime, which I mean mostly as a compliment, but also sometimes as a not
Oh,
not e- not
SQ.
not even a negative. Just like the show is weirdly horny, which the game isn't really. So that's kind of an interesting change. um, it does do the thing of like, hey, did you know that SQ is like super fucking hot? And it's like, yeah, I did know that. Thank you. Um, or
And if you
comment
didn't know that, Then it wants you to find out.
Or Comet or Stella or just kind of whoever, honestly.
Do you have picks? If so,
Uh,
um, yeah. I mean, I don't really know
yeah.
where you want to put it.
Uh,
I'm not
I
like
I'm
down
thinking.
on it.
Here's my opinion is like 7 out of 10 right now. Potential to move up here for me, for
I
sure.
think 7 is acceptable. I will take a 7.
This is a weird one. What is this
Yeah.
actually called again?
Anohei no Kanojo Tachi, Day 9, Takigawa Miya.
Yeah, okay.
Diary of Her Days.
So, what this is it is a short about Takegawa Miyu. Who is Takegawa Miyu? Well,
Takigawa Miya,
yeah,
played by Saijo. No, that's the character.
yeah.
Takigawa Miya, who, as we know, is played by. Is it like Nagase Sai? No.
I thought you had this up and were reading it. You're just trying to remember.
Yeah. Well, I
Okay,
was gonna
hold on.
lock in, and I locked out instead.
Yeah,
Takigawa
you.
Miya, who's played by Saijo Nagami. Jesus Christ, I did bad.
Yeah, okay. Saijo
Okay,
Nagami.
like, yeah, here's
Nagami.
your actual backstory. 22 over 7, they're an idol group. They're a bit of a mess. Um, and one of the only founding members left, Saijo Nagami, left the group. Um, and at her final live, um, they played that short, Diary of Our Days, episode 9. Episode 9, because Diary of Our Days is a series of 8, like, short anthology episodes
Except,
about the 22 over
yeah.
7 girls. Um, they were directed by Shin Wakabayashi of eventual Wonder Egg Priority notoriety. Um, and they were bitching, they were lightning in a bottle.
And this is
Um,
like an honorary final episode of that aired a number of years after the other ones. Am I correct with
yeah,
that? Those are from like
pretty much.
2018. And then unrelated to that,
Yeah,
there
there's a
was the
22 over 7
2020
animated
TV series
fucking
about
dog shit.
22 over 7. And I want to talk about that before we get into this, because my opinions on the two are related.
Okay.
The 2020 22 over 7 anime is very bad.
Whoa, like that?
uh, to put it in a very simple terms, it is an idol series that tries to have some like weird like speculative fiction concepts in there too by giving the girls like the girls are recruited by this shady quasi government agency and they get their orders from a magic wall called the wall that gives them like little paper slips with instructions on them. It's very strange. It was clearly trying to be like okay, again with the caveat that this is very simplistic and reductive. What I mentioned earlier with Ave Musica, where I think it is kind of a genuine inflection point for its genre, 22 over 7 was trying to be that for idol anime. It really wanted to be like the Madoka of idol anime. It did not do that. um, it is an extremely contrived mess of a show, which is sort of a shame because a couple of the characters are good and the group's music at the time was really good. Um, just a very like dense and foggy. I don't know how else to explain it. Like a very like
They've got a
dense, thick sound. And also most of this stuff was gang sung like completely, which is a little weird for an idol group. They have since changed sounds about 80 times, along with again the actual idol group getting dropping members and getting new members, and like there's this whole
dropping new
virtual
members.
there's this whole virtual idol conceit. So they've all got like anime character designs, but none of them are drawn by the same people, so they all look like they're from completely different things. It's a
And the
mess.
thing is, by the way, they like get unified art styles like later if like a single comes out or like a music video. But oftentimes, genuinely, this has happened more than once. You will get your original character designer version of a girl, and before they can even be done in like a unified art style, that girl's real life member will leave the group.
Yeah,
And the
Good
thing is,
stuff.
22/7 isn't supposed to be
That.
like an AKB 4 to 8 style rotating
Yeah,
members.
yeah. It
Like,
is. It is
that's
supposed to
why
be.
the fact that it bleeds
Yeah.
members is such a fucking gag.
It's been rough. I will say the
Yeah,
idol group are actually like somewhat popular, more so than you would think if you only know them from the show. Uh,
yeah,
but
they're still
like
afloat.
as somebody who likes a decent amount of idol music and is aware of like the whole commercial nature of the enterprise, even by the standards of that genre, 22/7 are fucking sellouts. But anyway, um,
All this to say, Mia finally got out.
yeah, which is a good thing. We're happy for the voice
Yes.
actress, and I guess kind of also the character by extension, but it's
Yeah,
weird.
she,
Um, all this to say that this short is actually really good and nice and touching, and it's just like a little quiet. It's silent. There's no dialogue. Like there's some
yeah,
music and some
just
sound effects,
little
but there's no dialogue. Um,
grunts, really.
there's it's just like a little quiet meditation on like the end of one phase of one person's life and into the next phase of that life, which is
Yeah,
really lovely. And it it I remember when this came out, I had a lot of feelings and thoughts about it because it's like if this project was just maybe a little less shamelessly trying to be the next big thing all the time, maybe we could have gotten something a little more focused, like say this, and maybe it would have
yeah.
been good.
It's one of those
The
things.
short's good, but
Almost.
yeah,
This is like a very strange thing to have to describe, but like sometimes you do just have an instance of, oh, I really like this character or this thing or this concept, but it's in something that sucks, and you want to see it freed or rescued or some
yeah,
other thing.
yeah,
And intellectually, that's not how
that
that
works.
works.
But yeah, no, I know
So
what you
you
mean
never
though.
really get anything like that. But this was a case where, oh,
You
we kind of did,
almost do,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
We
It's
got a proper farewell and send off
yeah,
to, you
which
know,
with something
and
like this, the line
it's
between
bittersweet, by the way,
yeah,
because like, yeah, it's supposed to actually be like a nice thing for, the fans. But even if you're like, yeah, she's finally free, it's still like,
yeah,
it's a sad thing.
uh,
She pretty much just goes home, sees her old idol outfit, and cries
yeah,
a little bit.
it's really like with something like this, like the line between the performer and the character is always a little thinner than you'd maybe like it to be. Um,
Yeah,
so how much of my feelings about this little short are uh, 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 relief for this woman that she's not bound up in that whole mess anymore, and how much are that it's like actually good? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's like a 7 out of 10. I don't know. We're
I
rambling
gave the
about stuff.
short a 9, by the way.
Yeah, seven
Um,
out of ten.
okay. Um,
The best anime of the year, Milky Subway.
Milk is Subway,
it.
a web short, just full CGI thing. It's like 20 minutes in total across 12 episodes. Some girls end up in jail. There are some other people in jail. Their jail assignment is to like clean this fucking train.
Yeah,
The train goes a bit haywire.
yeah, and it's
And
all
the
set.
characters just yap.
Yeah, it's all set
And it's awesome.
in this like weird like wowie zowie like retro future sci-fi setting. It fucking slaps. It is one
It's
of my favorite things that aired in 2025.
it was like genuinely a delight
I
from start to finish.
actually, yeah,
Really
I
fun.
actually,
It's really witty. It's really
yeah,
creative.
yeah. It's just like it's all the marks that you'd want from a good series. Like this is something that I've not really seen before. Like anything like this, it's
Yeah.
well done. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It does the shit that it wants to do and gets out. And they
Yeah.
might be making more of it. They're making a
They are doing
movie which
a
has supposedly is going to have like extra scenes and stuff. and
Yeah.
who knows
I
what the
wanted to do a rewatch when it was finished because it would take 20 minutes, but I'm just gonna wait for the movie
yeah,
because
yeah,
I could see the movie
yeah.
like kind of just being like, yeah, this is fucking perfect.
I
It
have
is great.
to give a shout out to my acquaintance Paul Kemner, who is a commenter sometimes on my anime blog, because he told me that in the Tokyo Anime Awards Festival, which admittedly I don't entirely know how prestigious that is, but hey,
It's no Game
it's a
Awards.
thing. That actually won like third place, and I think that's really cool. Like,
Yeah,
it's I hope that they either they make more Milky Subway proper, or they make like the people make like some kind of thing that like has the same sort of energy. I think this goes
yeah.
an A,
It's also yeah, it's an A for sure.
maybe
Real
even
quick, it's also,
S.
by the way, like a classic underdog story of some guy. It's pretty much one guy's passion project.
Yeah,
Um, it's like that's always peak. Well done, legend. Um,
indeed. All right.
yeah,
Hopeful over. This is a
yeah. It's fucking. I didn't really care about this.
me
Sorry,
neither.
Dagon.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
the
feel
one like
bad. It's a friend of ours, somebody else on Mudcourt, was like, "Hey, you guys should watch this. You'd probably like it," and we both did, and we were both like, eh.
yeah.
"It's not.
Some
It's not his
like
fault at all." What this is? It is I always forget his first name, but Imaishi Trigger guy Imaishi.
Hiroyuki,
Yeah, Hiroyuki Imaishi.
your buddy Hiroyuki,
Yeah, directed
your
this
good
short,
pal.
which is about like you know high
It's a
flying
red
battle
line. It's
racing. It's
a
Redline. Um,
yeah.
and I'm actually not a huge fan of Redline. That's a whole other conversation. Uh, it's the same kind of thing. It's fine. I think what happened is that at some point over this past year, I realized that I'm kind of sick of Imaishi's like whole vibe. I think that's all it is. Like I just
I
like
wouldn't go that far, but
it like if he makes something like really good again, we can talk.
yeah.
But I mean, like it was not a particularly great year for Studio Trigger for a whole bunch of reasons. But we
I
don't need
can't
to get
remember
into
the
all
exact
that.
sequence of events, but I'm pretty sure I watched Redline last year. Um, if I did,
But
I watched Redline and also a Redline like and Oval X Silver. I can't remember the name of the Redline like.
Tailenders.
Um, Tailenders, that's the one, Jane. I know
Tailenders is
you've
the
got
one
my
that I
back.
actually really like. Yeah.
Tailenders is pretty good, yeah.
I think my
Uh,
like fucking stupid like snarky little hover over comment on analyst for Tailenders is Redline if it was good or something like that.
awesome.
Anyway,
Deku fondled Bakugo's balls.
it's
Um,
I don't really it's fine.
I don't even think it needs more development. I think it's probably I don't know, man. Why is it like that? It's
All
not as
right,
bad as
it's
fucking My
not. We'll put it
Fascinating
over
Account,
that, but
but
like
yeah.
it did not hold my
Right.
imagination at
So we're
all.
making a tier below. I don't know,
Okay,
man. Why
no,
is
we're
it like
not.
that?
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna say if you feel that strongly about it, we move this up here, and then we put this in
No,
here.
I disagree. We totally agree. It's fucking dog shit. At least fucking girl power was
Fine,
kind of
it's
funny for
short.
like 10 minutes.
I guess that's the
Okay.
other thing. It's short. So this was one of the
To
ones that we kind of cheated to get onto the list. Because
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
finished
finish
it in
this.
what's like fucking four.
I watched like a third of it. Yeah,
This tier is just rancid dog shit, by the way.
I'm just gonna leave it blank. It doesn't get a name.
Okay. Yeah, no, I finished Sylvana Yugure. It's one of the most like poorly conceived pieces of media I've ever engaged with. I mean that not hyperbolically, by the way. Like I fucking can't believe how incompetent every facet of this fucking show was. My headcanon, if it illustrates the experience of watching this show, I've described this a few times to some mugs. I believe the writer's room for this show
Well, not this again.
happened in a karaoke booth while everybody was drunk. And, if your song comes up, you have to go sing your song. and then yeah, once you've sung your song, you can go back to like write the next line of the script or whatever. It's like, yeah, you don't fucking know where you're at because it's just non-functioning. It contradicts itself in every fucking like 5 minutes. The characters are fucking stupid, inconsistent bullshit. Thematically, it's the only thing the show is interested in saying thematically is that polyamory is maybe kind of okay, but it doesn't even seem like it believes in that.
Yeah,
And beyond that, it has like the most like pro foot on the fucking ground like opinion that the show wants you to come away with is that incest is awesome.
but not
Um,
in a cool way like Angel Sanctuary.
yeah, no, exactly. Like it's the show's weirdly homophobic,
My impression of the show, from what I saw of it, was that it was like afraid to commit to any ideas.
and
Um,
it was. I finished the fucking show, and it
yeah,
was.
like
It's
a there's like there's a good action sequence in the second episode, which is actually episode one, because this show decided to bring back the whole like 2010s, starting with episode zero. Anyway,
yeah.
um,
There's a good action scene in the second
and I
episode,
was like, maybe this will be something, and then it wasn't.
and it wasn't. The only other good thing in the show
Yeah,
is there's a bit where like we get the exposition episode, and kind of a flashback girl just gradually fucking destroys the world and starts getting like extremely suicidal. And that actually was done like pretty well. But
fair.
it doesn't matter because fuck you. It's not like the show is interested in the results of that, even though that's like objectively textually the events of the show are the results of that. The show isn't interested in the results of that. Um, Tony Yeager is like fucking pathetic. Let's talk horses.
Yeah. Okay. So, as I said earlier,
Cinderella.
these ones are things that I accidentally put on here. These are not. These are some dupes and some unrelated things. Although,
Yeah.
I can sort these three if I want to. I guess I don't know. Anyway, my point is that these two are the last actual entries on the list. And I put them together on purpose because I'm epic like that. Hey, I just realized that I think the Cinderella Grey Part 2 poster is supposed to be like kind of a callback to the beginning of a new era poster. He's like making the same pose. You see that?
I mean, yeah, but
That's
I don't
fun.
know if I'd say
Anyway,
it's callback.
it's who cares. Uh so 2025 was the year I got really into Uma Musume, and this has had mostly positive effects, I'd say. Not entirely, but mostly. Like I don't know how to describe why I like the series on the whole in a way that doesn't make me sound just completely out of my fucking mind. Like, part of it is just that I like a good action series with girls, and, you can be like, oh, sports and fighting are different things. And it's like, yeah, they are, but, come the fuck on. Um, Part of it is just that like I've always had a passing interest in horse racing because my mom is super into it. Um, but largely, I would say that there is like again, you sound completely fucking bonkers if you say this about this kind of show, but I think there is like actually like a really interesting thematic core that runs through most, if not all, of Uma Musume about like
He said runs through, because horses.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that saying that was worth making me lose my train of thought because I totally did. Um, what the fuck was?
Interesting
Yeah,
thematic thing that
yeah,
runs through.
yeah. Like a thematic line that goes through the whole series of just like you have to do stuff. That's not what I mean. Like it. You have to if you want something. There is not anything you can do to get it other than try to get it as hard as you possibly can. There's some other stuff in there. There's a lot of thematic material, especially in this entry specifically, Cinderella Gray, about like legacy and like kind of the changing of the guard that happens with any athletic discipline. Um, Stuff about like you know sorry, I'm kind of struggling from where to even start here,
Yeah,
which is stupid because this is fucking Uma Musume we're talking about. This is the show where there's like anime girls who are based on horses who run real quick. Um, but like, just I think it crams a really surprising amount of big ideas into something that is that simple. Is kind of, I guess, the main idea I'm getting at here. Now you
no,
say
that's
something
fair.
while I try to
I mean,
organize my
for what it's
thoughts.
worth, like we are about. Hold on a minute. 13, 16, 29, 42,
You good?
52, 65.
What are you doing?
We're about like 70 episodes in the movie worth of horses at this point. There really is a
True.
lot of Uma Musume at this point.
Yeah.
And
Not
they
to
are
mention.
still
Yeah.
constantly finding ways to make those horse girls running be like the
Yeah.
most captivating shit that you have ever fucking seen.
It's like, okay, in the show itself, the language they use is um tons of characters say stuff like this. Will be like, "Ooh, I was like captivated by her running. Her running inspired me to, do this or do that." And that's true within the literal context of Uma Musume because they're all athletes. What I think the actual
Uh-huh.
like inspiring part about it, if I can say that a thing is like genuinely inspiring, because I think it is, um, is the persistence. Like
Yeah. I
the
mean, it's the classic. They're running, but
yeah,
you're doing the thing that means something to you. You
yeah.
know?
Um, like okay, to talk about Cinderella Gray specifically for a moment. Um, Cinderella Gray is specifically based on the career of Ogre Cap, who was
It's
a
peak.
thanks was a Japanese racehorse who came up from humble for a racehorse origins. There's a whole side conversation to be had about that. Um, to dominate the sport in Japan for a little while and became very popular in the process. They nicknamed him the Idle Horse because people were fucking jazzed to see this horse run. That was in the 80s up to the early 90s. Um, and I mean, it's been like 30 years since then, and people are still paying attention to what this horse was doing. And I mean, like, yeah, obviously, there's a whole lot of like commercial forces that have to move to make that happen, right? Like, if we go back in time to 2016 or so, around when Uma Musume was first being thought of, and Ogre Cap's like the people who own Ogre Cap's name and likeness, I guess, were like, no, you can't do this with our horse. Then we don't have her in this show, and we have this conversation about somebody else. So ultimately, it's the result of a lot of processes, but I do genuinely think there is something really, really, I'll say beautiful. I don't care. Like genuinely, really beautiful about like this is like a transmutation of the human spirit, right? Like you see her doing that, and then you want to do whatever your thing is. Does that make any sense at all, or am I speaking gibberish to you?
No, I follow you.
Okay.
Like I do.
Um,
Um,
and
it is inspiring to see somebody,
yeah,
you know,
and
go for it.
Ogre Cat, because she starts out in like a relatively out of the way like regional circuit, is just like a really good protagonist. Um, and people including myself have made the Goku comparison a lot, but like yeah, like kind of. Um, of just like, yeah, she's really good at her thing. She's not necessarily the brightest bulb in the box, but she's not stupid either. And
Love some food.
she eats a lot, and you would be shocked how far you get off of those three things. And there is more to her than that, obviously.
Yeah, more to Goku as well.
Yeah, of course. But you really get far with just that little bit. Um, and so the show just follows her career. Like we see her become friends and rivals with all like relatively large cast of other characters who are all also based on horses from that time period. And it's, there's a lot of interesting trivia you can get into there if you're super into that kind of thing. You can be like, oh well, they gave Super Creek like the doting motherly personality because of this whole thing where the jockey was like walking through the stables, and the actual Super Creek like nipped at his sleeve because he wanted to go out for like it's like a whole thing. There's a lot of that you can get into if you really care about that stuff, but I think the fact that you don't have to is like a huge point in the show's favor.
Yeah,
it works just as well as just like arcs in a shonen series, which is what it is. I mean, the thing ran in Young Animal. Which actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of funny. Animal, horse.
actually.
But like, I don't know. The series on the whole, and Cinderella Grey especially, I just, it's really good. It's really. I mean, I said this when I wrote the thing, but the only reason I didn't put it at number one this year was because I think that the further seasons of it, which I am quite sure they will make, are going to be even better. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of talking in circles. You say something.
I think Balno Light is extremely cute.
Real.
Yeah.
True.
No, like, it's one of those things. Uma Musume inspires a lot less in me than it does in my co-host here.
That's fair.
But
to be clear, I do
like,
think I'm the insane one for feeling the way I do about it. Just to get that out there. Continue.
For what it's worth, like I said that the two Uma Musume things here, I give both of them a 10.
Yeah.
Like I think they're fucking immaculate fiction. I think the degree to which Uma Musume is capable of channeling that energy, just the drive to do better, to compete, to just pour your fucking heart out into something.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Just it's insanely captivating.
Yeah.
Of the two pieces here, Cinderella Grey, Beginning of a New Era, they channel in, different ways. I think Beginning of a New Era in particular is really interesting because it's a very, very deliberate movie.
Mm-hmm.
It creates its own iconography.
Yeah. I think if we're going to move, I want to talk about these a little bit separately. So if we can,
yeah,
because I do have other things I want to say about Cinderella Grey that are slightly less insane.
Yeah. No,
the other thing is I think it's
just wrote to the topic.
No, it's okay. That's fine. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Fight for it.
Yeah. Very fun connection between these two pieces of media. By the way, there's the TM Opera O cameo in Cinderella Grey. So there you go. The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The other thing
that century's end.
The other thing, it's Overlord. The other thing that I really like about Cinderella Grey specifically is that it does just inspire, like, everybody pokes fun at Shonen Bros sometimes, but at the end of the day, everybody has something like that, I think.
And
this is it for me.
Moments and aura.
Yeah,
is
I had the thought, and I didn't actually do this. I had the thought of I should review Cinderella Grey anime just so I can make the analyst blurb for the review horse moments and aura because I thought that was really funny like 6 months ago. Anyway, um,
Yeah,
it's fucking just really fun to watch. Like the races are entertaining. They've always been like quite good in Uma Musume. Even if you go back to season 1, which had a like much less production stuff going on than later entries do. Even there, it's like pretty entertaining. 2
yeah,
onwards, they just cook like it's insane. um, and Cinderella Grey's big contribution to this, and this is something that obviously they pulled from the manga because this is based on a manga, was is the whole zone thing, which is I've called it horse domain expansion, and I can't really think of a better term for it than that. Maybe you've got something you could contribute. It
truthfully, the zone is an acceptable enough term for me because
it is just fun to say the zone.
well, it's not even just that. It's just I've heard it in like other shows and shit.
Yeah, I mean
And
usually
sometimes like more when I'm like sometimes I'm like gaming really hard,
yeah,
and I'm like I'm kind of in the zone right
and
now.
lightning shoots out of your fucking forehead. But like
Exactly.
the show's great innovation is making that like a like sort of borderline supernatural thing, and then the series wisely there is a blogger that I like who has written a whole bunch of stuff about. I swear this isn't a tangent. I'm going somewhere with this. Give me a second.
Gimba.
There is a blogger that I really like who is named Ironic Lark, and their blog is called umedachidenssetsu.com. That's what I was trying to pull. They have written an extensive thing about like the supernatural at Uma Musume, other than obviously the horse girls themselves, who are kind of inherently like that's like a fantasy conceit, but um the way that the series on the whole, and especially Cinderella Grey, deliberately keeps it like really ambiguous as to if something like actually supernatural is happening or if they are just locking in that hard and it's all just visual spectacle for our benefit, the viewers, um, is really smart because you can interpret it like the thing is it's not even that you interpret it one way or the other, it's that it's kind of both at the same time, which makes it more fun than if it were strictly one or the other, I think. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Um
Um,
and also, I mean, it lets you do like shonen fan shit, like affectionate parentheses. Um I've seen people I've seen people do this thing of like I'm going back through all the other Uma Musume seasons to see if I can find any zones, and it's like that's. I've seen other people get mad about that, and I'm like, actually, that's really funny, and I think is fun, and like,
yeah.
yeah, like
No,
knock
like
yourself out.
you know,
Um,
moments where Goku nearly had Ultra Instinct.
yeah, exactly. It's the same shit. There's the whole I could fucking name like 5 of them off the top of my head because I've thought about this because I've seen other people think about it. Anyway,
Yeah,
um, it's a fantastic fucking show. That's kind of the long and short of it. Um,
yeah. It's pain.
yeah. And beginning of a new era, which was like the first thing I watched last year, literally. I think.
Oh, I guess I should have said this because I didn't, but Cinderella Grey is my anime of the year.
Yeah. No, fair. I like. I think in any other year it would have been mine too.
Yeah.
And it probably
Beginning of
will
a
be in the
new
future.
era
Uh,
is something that Jane watched at like
okay,
uh
very, very fucking technically, right? I watched it on the last day of 2024, but I didn't mark it until the first day of 2025. So,
I watched it in 2025. That's what you
yeah,
know. We're
it
cheating a bit, but
counts, okay?
oh no,
Um,
we watched a good anime and wanted to talk
yeah,
about it. Fucking
like,
kill them.
like
Delete the
it's
channel.
been it's been a minute at this point, and I've watched so much Uma Musume stuff since then that my memories are a little bit cloudy. I need to rewatch the show or the movie because I've also had like a review piece in the cooker for like a year at this point, but I keep deleting
How
it
do you
and
talk about a
start.
movie that's
That's
so...
this, yeah.
Yeah.
um, I watched this and I was like, this. Like it is stupid ranking shit is meaningless, right? But it's definitely like one of my favorite films, just like full stop. Which doesn't mean that much coming from me because I don't watch a lot of movies, but it's really good. Um, like I think that Jungle Pocket is kind of underrated in terms of like the whole Uma Musume protagonist rankings. She's a lot of fun. Uh,
To be fair, I think she kind of gets hard mocked by Agnes Tachyon.
Look, Agnes Tachyon is a very, very, very good character, and the way that she is depicted in the
Yeah,
film is very, very compelling. I distinctly remember, when I was working on that article, uh, one of the things that made me just scrap it and start over was that the Sakuga blog guy released an article about just
because
like the production stuff on it. And one of the things he pointed out was something that I didn't even notice, which is that Agnes Tachyon does not blink at any point in the first half of the film.
yeah,
Because there's like this
go.
whole
I
thing
also didn't
where
notice that to be fair.
this whole thing where they're trying to make her like deliberately kind of unsettling until she literally blinks in the face of Jungle Pocket's whole. You get it. Um,
Yeah, the
because
movie.
because there's this whole thing where Jungle Pocket like really really wants to compete against her, but she retires because she has this whole like intellectual thing in her head of like it doesn't actually matter if I'm the one that breaks like all these like theoretical limits of human or rather Umusume ability that I'm studying. It has to be somebody. And then she sees Jungle Pocket like do that, and she realizes she's fucked up. And that's kind of like the whole core of the movie is that no, like you have to be the one to do the thing that you're pursuing, like regardless of whatever that is. Um, it's like it's I don't know. What the fuck do you say about this kind of shit? This is another thing where I'm like almost in the place. This is gonna sound insane if you haven't seen it, but where I'm like almost in the same place where I am with the Utena movie, where I'm like I don't really know how to talk about this in the way that I think it deserves.
There's just a couple anime movies that are like that.
Yeah, the review Starlight movie's another one.
Yeah,
Which
Magical
I
Rebellion kind of is.
yeah,
Fucking End of Eva and Eva 4.0
which
are to degrees.
yeah, which is
Um,
like you can either take that as like a trait of the work or a trait of my limitations as a critic of the arts, as you please. I won't get offended. Um, but it is like a term I used a couple times when writing about Cinderella Grey. Is primordial of like this very raw vein of like purely emotional stuff that is you can't capture it in language it is like somewhere below that of like
you do
this
kind of just need to
like
watch it
yeah you do
and
need
to
to see
feel
it
it.
like this whole thing of like just like a visual representation of what it feels like to strive for something and to just like the whole emotional range of like from the bottom to the top and like genuinely just a beautiful fucking movie. And I mean that like in production terms, of course, also, but mostly just like in terms of what it is and is doing. It's a like it's a movie that really like believes in people, which I I'm not immune to that. So sue me if you are.
Unfortunate fact, Mugcord, you are dealing with two people that at least want to be fundamental optimists.
I don't think anybody in Mudcord is going to actually get mad at us for that. That would be fucked up.
Unfortunately for all the viewers.
Yeah, randos on YouTube might, you know how those folks are.
If you're a rando on YouTube, you can go fuck yourself.
If you're a rando on YouTube, please tell me how you found this video because I'm really curious. Anyway.
If you're a rando on YouTube, I hate you.
Stop it. Anyway, like, in addition to all of that, like, really high-minded stuff, it's also just a fucking really fun movie. It is
worse moments than Aura.
If I can say something extremely out of pocket, it's also like a weirdly sensual movie. Like those, like Pocket and Tachyon like put hands on each other kind of a lot. It's very There's some of that in Cinderella Grey too. Actually, quite a bit of it in Cinderella Grey. Now that I'm thinking about it, but there's gay shit going on there. I don't know. T.M. Opera O, who is not a main character in this movie, but was one in Road to the Top, which was like OVA miniseries. She shows up toward the end of this film, and
just aura farms.
Like, okay, the whole aura farming thing is like a funny way to put the fact, like, I don't actually have a problem with the term aura farming. I say it all the time, and it is what she's doing, kind of. But, like, I do also think it's kind of like an irony thing, like a bit of a defense mechanism to be like, yeah, this is, like, literally, like, the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm going to call it aura farming to, like, kind of deflect that I am affected by it. She is, like, the fucking Sun King in that scene. Like, where she shows up and challenges our protagonists, and it is just the fucking coolest thing of all time. And, you know, do you need to have any idea about the fact that the actual TM Opera O was like towards the end of like an era-defining run at the time? No. You just need to see this TM Opera O do all that shit, and you're like, you know, like what am I watching? Like, why is somebody apotheosizing on screen in front of me right now? You know, it's it's a movie that inspires very grandiose language. How about I put it that way?
Yeah.
Also, you can absolutely do the fun, like, Shonen Brain thing I mentioned earlier, where you're looking for zones in this movie. You totally can.
Yeah.
There's the bit where Tachyon, like, dashes forward and it goes to this, like, abstract space where there's, like, a bunch of golden, like, horseshoe patterns behind her. It's like, yeah, no, like that.
Whichever anime.
Yeah, no, it's anyway, yeah.
They're both in.
It's just, I don't know, like, the long and short of it.
Horses are good.
That's true. Yeah. The long and short of it is, like, we watched a lot of really good anime last year. Like,
yeah.
I must emphasize, like, basically everything I've gotten to B tier on up here, I'm like, okay, well, maybe Garza's Wing is kind of its own category, but other than that, everything we got into B tier on up here, I'm like, yeah, that was like a good fucking watch. And some of them, as evidenced by the fact that we just talked about Uma Musume for like half an hour,
yeah,
I have a lot more thoughts than that on some of them. Yeah, it's good shit. It was 2025. I had a good time
on a few things for brevity's sake, but yeah, no, like,
did we miss anything?
No, it's, you know, just like, I'm sure almost everything here we could keep going.
Oh yeah, no, especially everything in the top tier.
Yeah. No, it was a good year for anime though, and it was a good year for us watching stuff that didn't come out this year.
No, that's what I meant. There's like it was a good year for us watching anime. Was it a good year for anime overall? I don't fucking know. I didn't watch everything that came out. If I'm going by stuff,
the animation came out. I feel like
like you know, if I'm going by stuff that I watched and I liked, yeah, fucking fantastic year. Like,
Yeah.
Like I said everything I just said about Uma Musume. Um, and if you put a
We got
gun,
23 episodes of Cinderella Grey this year.
yeah, if you put a gun to my head, I might put Beginning of a New Era over Ave Musica. I wouldn't want to make that choice either direction. That's scary stuff. Um,
Uh-huh.
I said everything I said about Cinderella Grey, uh, and I still put Ave Musica over it. So like you can imagine the conversations we could be having about like that whole thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anime is good.
Yeah, I like I not to get
Except the bad ones.
who cares about those? Not to get sappy about it, but like I didn't have a fantastic 2025. Some good things happened. Don't get me wrong. I started dating Axie. Love you if
Oh,
you're
I didn't know
watching
that was so
this.
recent.
Yeah.
Dope.
Um.
Hi, actually, if you're watching this.
Actually, that was 2025, right? That wasn't late 2024, and I just made a complete embarrassment of myself on video. I'm bad with I have a terrible memory, and she knows this about me, but I think it was 2025. Um, but it was kind of a rough year in my personal life and the lives of people I love, and honestly, I've had a lot of those in a row, so that's not really noteworthy in of itself. But what I'm getting at with that is like I'm glad that art exists, so I have something to keep me afloat. And if that sounds corny to you, then I'm sorry. I can't change how I feel about these things. But
Yeah, that
yeah.
sounds corny to you. Literally go fuck yourself. No, I'm above engaging with and enjoying the experience of
uh,
art, which is an experience so fundamental to the fucking proof of human existence that all early traces of humans include art because we, you know, care. Ugh.
uh,
Upvotes to the left.
DAE not understand why people enjoy art. Now we're just making fun of a guy that doesn't exist. This is pure straw manning. Anyway,
Guy that fucking hates art.
Jagu from the evil universe.
Oh,
Shout out to Jagu.
from the evil universe.
No, Jagu from this universe loves art. He'll tell
Nah.
you. Remember when his display name was I fucking love art? I don't remember what server that was in. Anyway, uh,
Anime
anime is good.
2025.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I was
Well,
gonna.
anime 2025
Yeah,
was pretty good.
yeah, anime 2025 was pretty good. I was gonna say hopefully 2026 is better overall. But it's not off to a great start. So
Hey, neither of us have watched Journal of Witch yet.
no, I didn't mean anime wise, but
Oh,
anime wise, it'll be fine. Fate Strange Fake started a couple days ago, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I watched the first
the
episode of
only
that. It
2026
was
anime I've
fun.
watched is fucking Sentenced to be a Hero, so
Yeah, that wasn't great, but
that was my fault.
look, we had
That was
fun
your fault.
talking about it. Okay, that's worth something.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
can't wait to watch a good anime instead.
yeah, subscriber will fuck your dad.
Subscriber, we will fuck your dad.